Evening, everybody. Welcome along. It is Sunday evening. I'm aware the NFL's on, but got a little bit of interesting stuff happening over at Bolton Wanderers, haven't we? Last night we did a little surprise stream. Don't normally stream on a Saturday. We've got ourselves in a bit of a predicament, potentially. We are 5 games away from the end of the season in the Championship. We have 5 points above the relegation zone, so we have 5 games to keep ourselves in the Championship. Can we do it? I think we can do it. Do you think we can do it? Why not? Let's believe, shall we? This is it then. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're well. Benjamin Besser's in. Darlow Man, long time Darlow Man, doing some football training. Nice to see. Good to see that you're back again. Raoul's in as well. Oh God. Oh dear. He turned up just to see the incident last night, where obviously we're slipping towards the relegation zone, and he's back for more. This is what's happened. So we started here. This is where we took over, and to be honest, we've gone up, we've gone down a bit. We're not much further up. We're like 1 place higher, but the plan was to avoid relegation. That's all we have to do. Okay, here's where we are. 5 points clear of Rotherham. Okay, 2 points clear of Sheffield Wednesday, 1 behind Coventry, Millwall, 2 behind Swansea, 3 behind Derby. Okay, Bolton are staying up, and the Dolphins to snatch a win. I've just literally left it, Robert. I've just literally left it downstairs. I have had Red Zone on. It's looked like a great weekend again for NFL football. So if you've not been following the NFL, get involved with it. It looks like there's been some cracking results tonight as well, and of course that's only first group games as well. So obviously the group first game, sorry, the later games happening as well, and then that should be good. And then of course the late game, and then of course Monday Night Football. So it's all kicking off over there. Ultimately though, we've got 5 games left. Okay, this is what our current situation looks like. We have to play Birmingham at home. We have to play Crystal Palace away. We have to play Sunderland at home. We have to play Derby away. And we have to play Ipswich at home. That's not an easy run-in. That is not an easy run-in. When you look at what Rotherham have got, Rotherham have got this. Rotherham have got Sheffield United, who are 3rd. Ipswich, who are 6th. Both away. Hull 9th at home, Reading 7th away, Crystal Palace 11th at home. That's not an easy run-in, to be honest. That's not an easy run. I think ours is slightly better than Rotherham's. Sheffield Wednesday, Ipswich again. Ipswich are going to have a huge say in what happens here, to be honest. Then they've got Bournemouth, who are 5th, Middlesbrough, who are 12th, Sheffield United, who are 3rd, big derby game, and then of course they've got a massive match with Millwall in there as well. And the other team that of course we need to have a look at that could potentially have some say in the relegation battle is Swansea, who again don't really have a lot to do. They've got Coventry on the 9th, who are 19th, they're away from home. 7th place Reading, 2nd place Wolves, bottom of the table Luton, and Sunderland at home. So there is some teams in there that are going to basically decide what goes on, right? And it's going to get yes, Rogi's back. 18 months support from Rogi. Mwah. I love you, man. Thank you so much for that. That's incredible support. A Jameson stream in this economy. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Benjamin Besser could be better. May have caught a cold from a colleague, so Sag for that. But on Better News, Michelino's Paradiso are officially 2034 World Cup qualifiers, World Cup champions after qualifying 2nd behind the USA. That's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive. We need to stay up. Formation looks a bit odd, to be honest. I'll explain this as well if you weren't here yesterday. So we've got this guy Ray Hyam playing slightly higher up. He plays as an inverted winger. We could technically, if we wish to play him here, which of course would mean that Hurst Davison could go there, and then we can maybe have a little bit of a 4, which to be honest I have been thinking about throughout the day, thinking that might be a way to go. So maybe if I just sort of save that as another option and save that as a 4-2-2-2, do wop de do. So that could be a way of playing, to be honest. So we get Hurst Davison maybe goes, instead of being a winger,
we sort of put into him. Maybe we switch him for Nixon. We've got Morgan, of course, the Enganche there, so we don't want to. So we'll probably put the DLF here. Kenny goes as the advanced forward there. Hyam can be a playmaker here on attack, so that could work. That could work as an option. You know, we can obviously whip the ball in from the from deep, so that could be a way of playing possibly. I quite like it. You know, but as I say, there's also the option of just keeping a standard 4. We've got the Limon de Sol, which I think is a sort of a nice sort of compact shape in midfield as well. And then also we've got this sort of the diamond, which sort of worked for a little bit and then stopped working. So I'm a bit, I don't know. I'm very much confused by what we need to be doing, to be honest. So yeah, so Hyam can go there. Possibly, of course, Kenny goes there as the Enganche. So yeah, there is plans. It's just a matter of what we think is going to be the best way of doing it, to be honest, because we're not massively doing ourselves much in terms of form. Even the spaghetti legs welcome in. Hope you're well. First time chatting. Lovely to see it. Lovely to see it. Nice to see you here. Hope you're well. Appreciate you dropping by. Let me know who you're managing in your save. 5 games to go. It's that time again. 5 games to go. Are we going to stay up? Rogie knows the drill. The answer is, of course. Yes, of course we're going to stay up. Why wouldn't we stay up? You know, we've done this before. We know how to get teams out of a relegation zone. So we changed that from wing player to vertical tick attacker. Take all this nonsense off here. Don't need that. Standard tempo, maybe less expressive. Hit the balls a little bit more from deep out to the fullbacks. We like the fullbacks here, and that defensive line force them inside, I think. So that's what we've got. We have some players we need to think about moving on as well. Quite a few, in fact, to be honest. So we've got 5 games left. We'll finish the season, of course, tonight. Then it's recruitment, which of course we love. We love recruitment. That's where the fun comes, right? On these saves, and hopefully we'll be able to get something quite decent. Now, as I said, the question is, do we stick with this system, which I suppose isn't really working? 4-3-1-2. We've had a win against Rotherham. We lost against Swansea, which is a really disappointing result because Swansea are obviously below us. And do we go for this sort of like this? It's not quite a Brazilian box, is it? Like with a 4-4-2-2-2. Do we try that, or is it a bit late in the day to be trying something a little bit different? You know, so it would be like that with Morgan there, Nixon, Kenny would obviously switch around. So it'd be that. I mean, do we try it? I quite like. I'm not against it, to be honest. I think it's a fun system. I think if we work it nicely, then it works really nicely. So let's see what we can do. Let's go for it. What's the worst that can happen, eh? What's the worst that can happen? In fact, to be honest, let's switch Hyam out as well and bring in our Argentinian playmaker. So we brought him in on loan from San Lorenzo, 18 years old, Sergio Montel. Let's give him the shot. I'm going to put him as a midfielder on attack in there. That's what we think. And then obviously Hyam can come on. He's got 5 goals, Hyam, so he is actually doing okay from that position. So he comes in, can maybe do some bits and pieces. Shulba Thomas has pretty much talked himself out of ever playing for the club again because of some pretty horrific misses. Hurst Davison comes in, gets some goals, drops back out again, so he's quite handy. Yeah, I think we go with that and see what can happen. So might work, might not. Now's the time to try it, okay? And if it works, then this can be potentially what we look at using going forward, and maybe trying to build the team around that style going forward, because I think it'll work quite nicely in the Championship. So we go up against maybe like sort of teams with like 3 centre backs and stuff. Then maybe we could come up with something quite decent. But it's always a it's always an issue trying to change a formation, particularly at this time of the game cycle as well, when you're sort of into the final rungs of the season. You've got a few games to go. You're trying to sort of work out, right, what's going to work, what's not going to work. You know, who knows? I'm up for it. I think it could be quite a fun experiment. As I say, 5 games to go, so 5 points clear. What are we thinking in terms of maths then? Does that mean we could draw all 5 games and stay up, maybe? But in fact, let's get. I'm going to embarrass myself here. I am actually going to get a calculator out now and work out. So 15 points. Right. So all we need is 10 points, and we're through. Right. We're up. At the minute, the gaffer is staying up. I think that's Rogie who's pulled those points in there. That's what's happening in the predictions right now. But yeah, hope everybody's well. Hope everyone's had a good weekend. Hope everyone's looking forward to having a bank holiday tomorrow. If you get a bank holiday, of course. Maybe some people don't, but in fact, yeah, let's work the ball in the box actually instead. Solemnly bound to not vote in a poll. If I do, I can't cash it out. Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Right, here we go then. Let's have it. We're up against Birmingham. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Marked improvement, please. So 15 points on the line. We don't need all 15 points. We could probably get away with just getting 10, I think. That should see us safe. However, of course, it all depends upon what Rotherham do. They're playing Sheffield United away at this point. Sheffield Wednesday are currently losing to Ipswich. Rotherham are currently losing to Sheffield United, so that helps us. Millwall are currently losing to Crystal Palace as well. Swansea losing to Coventry, of course, who are just slightly above us. Rotherham 2-0 down now. Corner. Oh, off the bar. Balls up over the top. Keeper's coming out to get it. Nice. That'll do. We don't need too much at this point. Just keep things going as they need to be. Things are going pretty well, Ralph. Thank you. Things are going pretty well. We've had a good day, to be honest. So, Wintle. Okay, nice little cheeky free kick there. A little cheeky free kick. The skin is the Renzi Dark. We looked at Tato for a bit. Good ball in. There's Kenny. How's he missed that? How has Kenny missed that? That was on a plate. Sheffield United still 2-0 up against Rotherham. Ipswich still a goal up against Sheffield United. Sheffield Wednesday. Shrewsbury losing to Wolves. This, of course, is obviously helping us out. Rooney with the free kick to Morgan. Williams, Kenny, Nixon. There's Sergio Montel. Touch is a little bit too heavy. Now I'm worried. This is the first positive highlight for Birmingham at this point. Actually, the ball's played in nicely. Oh. Johnny Kenny, the man we said we were going to get. If we bought a Bolton shirt, it was going to have Johnny Kenny's name on the back. This is why. What a ball from Morgan as well, by the way. Our Welsh 21-year-old Enganche. What a ball. And look at that for a finish. Oh. A finish so filthy, your dad's written blank tape, do not tape over on it. That's how good that one was. That should hopefully keep us somewhere. Hang on. Where have all of our players suddenly decided to go? They've all ran away. That's not good. Oh, that was hit from distance, wasn't it? That moves us up. If we can keep this here. Here's Kenny. Doing the Lord's work. Going to the wings. Puts the ball back. Nixon. How's he put that wide? How has he put that wide from there? We're not making any changes. Maybe we should. Oof. Right, you know what? Maybe we will make some changes. We need to slow the tempo down a bit. be more disciplined. I think we need to look for some players to bring on. We've got some winter maybe for Lenton. I think maybe we actually bring a slightly more defensive shape. Champagne taking off ice as you're staying up. I hope so. Let's bring Scott Twine on, and he can just drop into this spot here, can't he? That should theoretically keep everyone happy, I think. Make him a ball-winning midfielder there, and a Mazzala, I think. See if this is going to see the game out for us. A couple of minutes to go. Oh, nice. We've got a tackle in. It's bounced away. Heads away again. That'll do. Bakuna. You've got to be kidding. We try and close the game out. Oh dear. Unbelievable. I mean, is he offside? Is he offside? He's certainly not been tracked, has he? Unbelievable. We've thrown it away. 91st minute. Put that Champagne back in. This wouldn't have happened in the days of Bobby Coppin. Oh, exactly. Bobby Coppin would not have let that happen at all. But, let's look at the positives. It's a point, right? We always say respect the point. We're currently now 6 points clear of Rotherham, so with 4 games to go. Okay, so there's only 12 points to play for now. Dan FM, 100% you're to blame for that. 100%. To be fair, it's my fault. Why was I trying to go defensive? Like we were doing fine. We were doing absolutely fine, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? Let's try and see this game out, and we can't. We couldn't. We literally couldn't, and it ended up costing us right at the end. So, yeah, a bit worrying, that one, to be honest. We obviously need to be a little bit more clued up. And it say we're going down, sing stay up. No, you don't. You don't have to say anything, Raul. Do not put any positive or negative pressure on us at this point, because I've got a feeling that the game's listening. I think the game's listening. Sean Rooney's got himself a yellow card. Got himself too many yellow cards. He's now got a ban. Fins up. Dolphins won. Who'd have thought it? Evening, Boltby. How are you, buddy? Welcome in. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. We are now 4 games away from the end of the season. 4 games. And as we say, this is now getting to the squeaky bum time. Games listening, yeah, you're going down. Yeah, I think so. Well, you know what? I hope we're not. I think there's enough in that performance there that suggests that I think there's enough there that showed that we were actually pretty decent in that formation. We saw quite a lot. We missed a couple of glaring chances, which is really frustrating when you realise that we obviously let that one in right at the end. That is a worry. Also, Rogie, you'll be a big fan of this. You'll be quite happy here. Our assistant manager is Tom Heaton, so we brought him in pretty quickly, which is pretty good. So we're happy with that. So we're away to Palace now. Oh, cool. Glad the charity link has target's been met. That's awesome, Dan. If you guys don't know what I mean, we had a charity link put in the chat last night. I'll put it back in again, actually, to be honest, for everybody, so you can all see it. So I'm just going to pop this up into the Discord for tonight, just so we can all remember the good times where TJ was up against the relegation candidates yet again. I mean, this has been, for considering we've obviously moved from stable York to relegation battling Bolton, Where are York, actually? That's a good point. Oh dear, York are going down. Oh, they were fine when we left them. They were fine. Like, we left them here when they were 12th. That's been a steady decline. I mean, that is... I can't take any of the blame for that. Not at all. And that's not on my watch. You know, terribly sorry, but it's not my fault. Yeah, away at Palace, not an easy place to go. But let's see what we've got. Even Feeney, how are you? Welcome. Not seen you around for a little while. Hope all's well. Yeah, let's put that charity link back up again, actually, by the way. So if anyone wants to still donate, then they absolutely can. There we go. Even if we go down, we're not getting the sack. No, we're not getting the sack at all, because basically the expectation was for us to just battle bravely against relegation. So the fact that we are, well, yeah, we haven't been sacked yet, to be honest. So we're okay. We're okay. Didn't reach the fourth round of the FA Cup. That's a bit of an issue, but everything else is fine. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. It's going to be a bit of a... There's a rebuild job to do in the summer, I think. Bring some more players in who maybe fit the system a bit better. Maybe actually get a system a bit better. That would be quite a decent idea. I want to sort of show them all inside, do we? Have some faith. We've got faith. We have faith. George Michael levels of faith. Right, Shaw's coming in. Montel played pretty decent. It was literally until we made changes that the team... Once we made changes, the team collapsed. So, if anything, we stick as we are. First on this, fire Thomas. Oh, 100%, 100%. That man is getting shot out of a cannon. Like, he is. He was awful. Some of those misses were horrific. And it was just the one where we should have gone 2-1 up. We should have gone 2-1 up. And that was the one. If he'd have scored that, we would have been in less trouble than we are now. But, you know, let's see. We've still got some games to play. We'll still keep our eyes here on the Rotherham score. So Rotherham versus Ipswich, Sheffield Wednesday versus Bournemouth. We need to keep our eyes here, of course. But more importantly, we need to keep our eyes on the prize here as well. Bogle into Bergwijn. Okay, they've already got better players than me, but headed away nicely. Will Hughes, Friedel. This might not be a one for a 4-2-2-2, I don't think. Oof. Yeah, I don't think playing the defenders inside is going to keeping the defenders out, keeping the wingers outside is going to work. To be honest, got a feeling we need to pull them inside. Right. Okay, let's change this up then, because we've already been found out. Let's drop that offensive line first of all as well. Pull the ball back a bit, and maybe even slow some of the possession down, because we want to make sure that we actually get the ball. Don't want to be losing those second balls. Oh, gone down. Nicely cleared. Here's Morgan, brings it down nicely. Williams. Welsh. Oh, playing the ball risky back in defence. Out to Mungo Bridge. Kenny Montel. Robbie Gotts. Oh, gives the ball away. It's a long highlight. This is a long highlight. Lovely passing football from both sides. And Bailey Peacock Farrell's got to do something better than that. Got to do something better. Just stands and watches it. Sometimes goalkeepers are just so bad, aren't they? Like, surely in real football he'd be off his line by about there, and he wouldn't maybe dive after the ball's gone past him. I'm just thinking. I mean, he's onside. There's no doubt about that at all. Yeah. Sheffield Wednesday will lose, and that's decent for us. Williams. Here's Montel. Great ball through for Kenny. Oh, just put your foot through it, Kenny. Do you know what I mean? Like, none of this trying to dink the ball over a goalkeeper. What's the point of that? And we're just seeing some of this squad. Peacock Farrell, did you lose a bet or let Rich pick the keepers again? Yeah, well, he was already here when we turned up, so it was part of the agreement, Rogie, that if I took over the team, could they at least have a bad goalkeeper? And they said yes we can. Ian Road to Legends, how are you? Welcome in. Hope life's treating you guys good. You've joined us at a very, very interesting time. Oh, Nixon just over the top there, as we are currently battling for survival to stay in the championship with Bolton. Sheffield Wednesday are losing, which is obviously helping our cause, but Rotherham are losing as well, so that's pretty decent. We're literally relying on other teams at this point. We drew against Birmingham in our last match. We should have won. In fact, we were winning until the 91st minute, then we managed to concede an equaliser. Somehow missed a couple of gilt-edged chances that we should have scored. Should have been 2-0 up, to be honest. Bridge puts it back in. Areola with a save. So, yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's a journeyman really. So we started off at Brackley, and then we went to York. Got back-to-back promotions from York from the National League North and then into the National League. Won the playoffs in both seasons back-to-back. Then we managed, so we're in League 2. We were about 12th, and then we got offered the chance to come and join York, Palace, and we were like, yeah, why not? That sounds pretty good actually. Let's do that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to mix it again slightly. So we're going to go into that sort of diamond shape, I think. We're currently in season, so this is season 7, so we're in 2028. Winter with the ball, back post, Nixon's turned it over. Oh god, how's he missed it from there? You know what, Nixon's missed far too many chances like that. He's gonna have to come off. Robbie Gott's on a yellow card as well, so he's probably gonna end up getting sent off at some point, no doubt. Great ball down the line. Kalido. Oh, that was a moment, wasn't it? That was a moment right there. Up down Football Sky, moved to Mondorf to Luxembourg. Nice. Up all through. Strelec 2-0. Scott Twine's been frustrating, Rogie. That's why. He should be a starter, but he just doesn't do it. Just doesn't do it. Luton are winning. They're bottom of the table. That's really bizarre. Strelec with the finish. Right. So how else are we looking at the minute? Sheffield Wednesday are 2-0 down against Bournemouth. Ipswich are beating Rotherham, so we are still staying up at this point. In fact, Twine shouldn't be there, should he? I hate this. I hate the fact that again I'm into a 4-2-3-1. If this goes Pete Tong, would you consider the Story Hunter objective of avenging your previous Scotland-based jobs? Oh yeah, 100%. There's definitely a chance to go to Scotland. I mean, if we stay up, we don't have to stay at Bolton. Remember, we can move away from this and be like, this was a bad idea. You know, we don't really have any money, so we are up against it anyway. And the more I see here, the more I'm thinking this is going to be a really tough save next year. But puts hairs on our chest, doesn't it? Oh, Sergio Montel, don't disallow that. Don't disallow that. Oh, it's tight. It's super tight. It's super tight, isn't it? I tell you what, while we consider what we're doing next year, whether we're staying at Bolton or not, have a look at that. If you want to get FM23, use the link here. We've partnered up with Fanatical. It's a Sega approved retailer. So get yourself signed up for that, use the code FAN5 in your checkout. You get for £32 and 5 pence, and you get beta access as well. So only for PC, by the way, not for PlayStation 5 or mobile or touch or anything like that. And we're still 6 points clear. We've got 3 games to go now. So technically, all we have to do at this point now is get a win, right? A win and a draw should see us up. Should see us stay up. Right. Now let's just have a little check. What's kicking around? Cardiff, Fulham, Preston, Hearts, maybe. There you go, Rogie. We can maybe go to Hearts. Norwich, Inverness, Cali. Your job obviously is coming back up again because they're going to get relegated back into the National League. We don't want to go back to the National League, to be honest. Why does the task of get a win sound like the hardest thing to do? Peterborough, League One, Peterborough. It's it's just one of those things, isn't it? We make this difficult for ourselves, don't we? We make things difficult for ourselves, and we shouldn't. Yeah, pretty much. It's I can't really say anything other, to be honest. I think you guys have pretty much summed this up, yeah, because Jameson's at the helm, so it's gonna be tricky. Let's stick Scotty Twine out there. Scotty Twine can go there. Ray Hyam can go there. We're going back to 4-4-2. At home to Sunderland. We need a victory. Something against Sunderland will see us stay up. If we can get something against Sunderland. If. In fact, you know what? I'm also going to go. Let's try that. See if it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Great, Hurst Davison's injured. Excellent. So we are going into the last couple of games really struggling. Right, Sunderland at home, Derby away, Ipswich at home. Have no fear, everybody. Famous last words. Right, famous last words. Let's go a bit more direct, I think. Let's not bother with short passing. Force players inside, that's about right. Go to maybe time for a team meeting. There we go. Let's not drop our heads. As you say, if there is a we've just done it. We've just done a team meeting. We're not doing it again. I mean, if there is a plan for moving on after this, then let's explore that. But part of me thinks that we could have fun because, right, here's the interesting thing: Bolton Wanderers move into a new stadium. Okay, they're moving to a new stadium here. 28th of June into the Nat Loft House Arena. It's smaller than the current stadium we're in. This is what I don't get. Bolton Wanderers are batshit. They're a batshit football club. Like, it makes no sense. You're gonna build a new stadium? We are, yeah. Is it gonna be bigger than what you've currently got? Nope. Nope, not at all. Not at all. It's gonna be smaller. Why is that? Just cause. Cause why not? Right, here we go then. Penultimate home game of the season. I've already got a short list of what we need to replace if we stay next season, and so far it's everybody bar Johnny Kenny. We've already given away a free kick. This is 50 seconds in, we're a goal down. Oof, we should have been. We should have been. Demand more already after 4 minutes. Keep our eyes peeled on some of the scores. Swansea beating Wolves. Rotherham are beating Hull. Oh dear. Rotherham are now 2-0 up against Hull. Sheffield Wednesday 0-0 with Middlesbrough. This means that Rotherham are 4 points behind us. So we have to do something. Okay, we're going to play the ball out. Wild free kick out to Rooney there. Here's Hyam. Hyam back to Rooney. Advanced position. Williams. Robbie Gotts. Oh, lovely ball almost. Just about played it through, but not quite enough on it, sadly. Here's Mungo Bridge. Gives the ball away again. Mungo, man. Twine. Bridge. Twine pulls it back. There's Hyam. He's brought down. It's a penalty. It's a penalty. Now we missed our last penalty. It's Twine. There you go, Rogie. Your boy gets his goal. Sends us into the lead. Possibly keeps us in the division for another year. Possibly. Possibly. Stoke now 4-1 up against Barnsley. Not a match that really matters to us, but it just came across the bottom and it seems quite interesting. Just get rid of it. Don't do something stupid there. Oh, what are you doing? What are we doing? Literally giving the ball away. Giving a goal away. Just get rid of the ball here. Is this slightly bittersweet? A little bit, Toby. Yeah. Beereth with a goal. I mean, to be fair, our first game for Bolton Wanderers was against Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. We won 5-3. Oh. Johnny Kenny puts it wide. So that was our first introduction to this side, was to beat Sunderland. Right. Mungo's gonna have to come off for Josh Doyle. Hyam's doing okay. I mean, to be fair, we're doing okay. Okay. I don't really know what else we've got at this point to change it. Like, we don't seem to have that creative spark that we need. Maybe we'll bring Morello on, and so he can be the guy. Or Montel, so I should say. I mean, Reece Morgan's been pretty good as that Engange. Hyam! What a ball from Robbie Gotts. Hyam gets himself on the score sheet. Are we staying up now? Maybe. Robbie Gotts, quarterback pass. Proper Hail Mary up to Hyam. Finishes that lovely into the bottom corner. Keep checking on some of the scores, but I need to really focus a bit more on our game. In fact, there's Beereth, turns the defender over the top. Don't want to mess anything up with shouts either, like, because usually you'd sort of tell teams to, like, sort of focus or keep calm, but not on FM. Doesn't work. You just leave it alone, otherwise it breaks. Oh, Toby, you're talking far too soon. There's still 2 games to play. Mathematically, we can still go down. I think there's 6 points. I'm not sure what the goal difference is like, but I would imagine if we're here that mathematically we can still go down. Hyam should have finished that one. Let's put Sergio Montel on for for Morgan. Wintle can just let that one run out for another throw. What else have we got here? Shrewsbury are losing. Sheffield Wednesday are losing. Rotherham still 2-0 up. Yeah, our goal difference should be enough to keep us up, I reckon. Although, having said that, if we lose 2 games 3-0, then there is a chance that we're sucked back into it. Rotherham have conceded a goal now. Di Matteo has pulled one back for Hull. We've got to win. We've done what we needed to do. Hello, Cambrodia. How are you, man? Welcome, welcome. Big shout for Cambrodia, by the way. Streamer who has we recently played in the FM Top Manager. Someone who's very, very lovely, and we just had a great time. It's always nice to see him in. So yeah, hope you're good, man. Welcome. You've joined us with 2 games to go now. 2 games to go, and we're battling to keep Bolton in the Championship. You know, because of course we are. It's exactly where you'd expect Bolton to be. If, of course, you expect them to be in the Championship in the first place. But we are just about getting there. Pressure can build on me to let this guy go all he wants. He's going to leave. Fine. Like, let him go. You know, you're out of contract. You're going to be leaving regardless. Like, you're not really in our thoughts. You know? Away to Derby and then at home to Ipswich. 2 matches to decide what happens next. Rotherham, if I have a quick little look, Rotherham have Reading, I believe. Okay, so Rotherham's the team we need to look at. Okay, Rotherham away to Reading, who are 7th, and Crystal Palace at home, who are 9th. So that's pretty tough. Sheffield Wednesday have to face Sheffield United, who are 2nd, and Millwall, who are 20th, and Millwall have just found themselves sucked into here as well. Millwall, formerly managed by, you'll love this one, Rogie, Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta used to manage Millwall because... I don't know why, because it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense for Mikel Arteta to be at Millwall. They've got to face Wolves, and then they've got to face Sheffield Wednesday. So that is going to be an interesting battle right there. And then, of course, let's not fully discount Shrewsbury. They can still save themselves at home to Norwich and away to Borough. I mean, that away kit, by the way, let's be honest, is... lush. Absolutely lovely. So their form, let's have a look at their form. What's that? The Shrewsbury's, yeah, it's not good, is it? It's not good. They're in there battling. I mean, to be honest, I don't think Millwall's isn't much better, is it? Look at that. 1 win, 2 wins this year. Ipswich and Luton. That's why they've started slipping. They're in free fall. Absolute free fall. Wednesday again haven't won since January. There's a lot of issues there, isn't there? A lot of issues there. The fact they've got Nigel Pearson is probably one of the issues. That's probably one of the main issues, I reckon. And then you've got Rotherham, who actually have picked up a victory. They've just picked up a victory against Hull, but they've also picked up a victory against Shrewsbury, Sheffield Wednesday, Birmingham. So they've beaten the teams that are in and around them. That's what they're doing. Well, they did lose to Luton, and of course lost to us as well, which is a huge, huge psychological blow, to be honest, at this stage of the season. So yeah, it could be quite interesting to see how it plays out. I'm still confident enough that we're going to have enough about ourselves to stay up. So I think, yeah, one more point sees us safe. So hopefully it's not going to go to the final game of the season. It's going to go to the last game of the season, isn't it? We know it is. End up doing a full random save for a stream. A YouTuber found a full generator. Oh yeah. We've got the generator's pretty cool, to be honest, isn't it? You got a Keflin Press, Camfellin Press in Wales. Excellent. And what was the stipulation for it? Here we go. Lundberg praises Twine. Now the thing is, right, Freddie Lundberg came out in the press and said that Bolton's form was shit, forgetting that he was the Bolton manager just before I took over, and he was the reason that the form was shit. So, to be fair, Freddie Lundberg not really listening to what you've got to say, but he is backing Scotty Twine at this point. So maybe he's coming out with something decent. We're not having a team meeting. We're not putting the team in the bin at this point and being like, oh, you know, it's a great idea. Let's get Tony to call a meeting. No, we're not going to do that. That's a really, really bad idea at this point. You have to get rid of players over the age of 30, put them out of their misery. Oh, it's your 30th birthday. Happy birthday. You've been sold to Scunthorpe. Nice. Get the hydrates on. Good shout, Ralph. Good shout. Look at that. That's nice. That's a nice 4-2-3-1. A nice narrow 4-2-3-1. So presumably, we can go narrow as well and just nullify the game, or we can try and go wide, get around them. But I think they might have too much through the middle, so maybe we'll have to dip into this 4-2-2. You know, it is quite a narrow setup. Formation's 4-2-1-3. You reckon that's 3 strikers? 4 strikers? Yeah, maybe. Evening, Beaver. How are you, buddy? Nice to see you in. Hope you're well. Maybe. I mean, I think they've got. I mean, look, it doesn't really matter what they play. They're a better side than we are, to be honest. And we've got our work cut out here. So we'll see how we get on. But I hope it will be all right. We might have to move high up, to be honest, if needs be, and we'll try and sort of like counteract them that way, but hopefully we should be fine. So right, let's get them. Anyone still coming back from injuries or that we need to know about? Anyone can come back in? Nope. Right, let's go. Final away game of the season, away to Derby County. Let's get revenge. Fingers crossed. Nolaskian is a beast. Is he? I need to have a look at this actually then. Where's he play? What midfield? This guy here. Okay. We need to keep an eye on this fella then. 29 years old. Yeah. That's decent enough. Oh, hang on. We've got a throw in. Morgan. Gotts. Wintle. Out to Hyam. Pulls back. Super Johnny Kenny. There's the man. And we're off. Hawkball's good about to jump onto your Blackburn save. Good shout, Beaburn. Well, of course, as we're currently playing as Bolton, we can't possibly say that a Blackburn save is a good idea, but I think it's a good idea. Great tackle, Robbie. Don't say anything just yet, Raul. Don't say anything just yet. There's still 70 minutes to play. We haven't conceded from this highlight yet. Oh, don't do a Villa. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't do a Villa. Yeah, don't hire someone from Liverpool and put them in charge. Don't do that. Don't hire Steven Gerrard. That's what you need to do. Don't buy former Liverpool players who aren't up for a relegation battle. Who'd have thought Philip Coutinho wouldn't want to roll his socks up and get involved in a relegation battle? Who'd have thought? Okay, now do we revert to sitting back at this point rather than chasing? Part of me thinks that's maybe a decent idea, but part of me thinks if we also chase, we might be able to intercept and get a counter-attack somehow. or we can get in each other's way and give away a penalty. That's a stupid, stupid thing. Oh. Cucho. 1-1. It's in the middle of a highlight, and I'm saying, like, we need to... do we change the system at this point? And it's like... I should know. I've had 10 months of this. I should know that this is exactly how the match engine plays out. Rotherham are getting spanked by Reading, by the way, so I think we are safe. Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United look like they're 0-0. So again, barring a catastrophe, which is still possible, then theoretically we should be safe. Kettering now leading goal scorers in the FA Cup. Is that right? Offside, actually, man. Noloskian with the header down there as well. Sheffield United are beating Sheffield Wednesday. They're helping us. They're helping us. Right, I'm changing it now, even though the highlight's already in the middle of it. And it's not going to make a difference because obviously the goal's going to count anyway. Here's Ronan. Noloskian. Holmes. Done. They're just slowly, patiently doing it. Then they'll just ping one ball over the top. Our defenders won't be anywhere near it. Like that. Just like that. Did you see that finish? Did you see that finish? Someone clip this finish, because this is ridiculous. I mean, I called the run. Look at that. Disgusting. Disgusting. Now do you want to park the bus? Yes, now I do, yeah. Just like insane, right? Absolutely insane. I mean, fair play to the boy for doing it, but yeah, heads away. I think we need to go through the middle, don't we? Because this is what they're doing, and they're just murdering us. Because we're going out wide, it's just exposing us. Right, let's change it up a bit. Evening, Jack. How are you? Welcome back again. Are you well? Nice to have you back in again. Appreciate the raid, buddy. Hope your stream was good. What's been happening in your world? There we go. Let's do it that way. How was your stream tonight? Hope you had a good one. Yeah, we'll shout you out, actually. You've joined us just as we are in our penultimate match of the season. Hopefully, it looks like we're about to stay up. Hopefully. Ball's out wide. Here's Mungo. Twine. Nobody there. Literally nobody there at all. A wasted pass. And in fact, should have been a goal for them, to be honest. Should have been 3-1. Welsh Williams up on the top. There's Twine. Oh. Paul Arnk. Streaming well, nearly promoted Jack's brother and editor of his YouTube videos. Nice. Welcome to meet you. Hope you're good. Qualify for the Scottish playoffs. That's good. That's great work. You're Queen's Park, is that right, Jack? I think that's what you were saying last night. Bridge. Ball's headed away. Are we going to take a shot from here? Someone think about it. Hyam gives the ball away. Might as well try and push on at this point. We are still safe, so we don't really need to do anything. But try and maybe not limp over the line. That's it. We've been beaten. But I think we're still safe. We're literally just limping over the line because Rotherham got beat by Reading. Sheffield Wednesday got beat by Sheffield United. Millwall got hammered 5-0. So we're safe. slightly underwhelming, that, to be honest, isn't it? Slightly underwhelming to say that we stayed up just by you know, nature, by virtue of the fact that everybody else was shite, really. So there you go. That's sort of what we expect, really, isn't it? We would have just been like, yeah, it's fine. We'll get through somehow. Jack, appreciate the follow. Appreciate the follow. I guess the question now is, do we stay next year? What's available? Cardiff is in League One. Plymouth's in League One. Preston's in League One. So it's a drop. York, of course, have been relegated by the looks of it from League Two. I mean, that's a shame. That's a shame. We didn't. That's not our fault, right? Charlton in League One, maybe. Evening, Richard. How are you, buddy? How are you? We've stayed up. We stayed up somehow, mainly because of the fact that other teams around us are a bit crap. Fleetwood is League Two. We don't want to drop that far down. Dundee United, Hearts, Norwich, maybe, potentially. Peterborough. Again, we've done Peterborough before, but could always be tempted to go back, couldn't we? You know, Bosnia and Herzegovina. There's obviously some options. Celebratory packs. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the packs. Where are they? Right. I'm gonna do a sneeze as well at the same time. So excuse me if I do. Right. You can have a. There we go. There's the Norwich. Norwich could be fun. Norwich could be fun. I mean, Plymouth could be fun. You know, we've got a lot of Plymouth fans in the chat, to be honest, haven't we? Old Matt Taylor Richards has got some affiliation with Plymouth. Obviously, Northern Pilgrim. Who else have we got there? What's he called? One of our other guys as well is a big Plymouth fan. We've got a shiny Spain. A shiny Spain. Look at that. There you go. We also have Stanislav Labotka and Robert Mack. There you go. Robert Lewandowski. That's a great one. Great one. Ruben Neves. And Joe Morel. So Welsh player as well. So that's not a bad pack. That's a pretty decent pack, to be honest. So well done, Rel. Well done. Let's see where we are now at this point as we look to just finish off what we've got, really, to be honest. Now, I need to double check though. Have I got any promises where we're not supposed to do things like, you know, stop applying for jobs, that sort of shit? No, we haven't actually. We haven't got any do not apply for jobs. Contract is for next season. So, just saying. I think we start next season, but we know we've got a lot of work to do in the summer, right? So let's have a quick look at this final match of the season. It's Ipswich Town. And then now, after that, we can start getting into our scouting. And scouting's normally fun. Scouting's the bit that people like on stream, so we can sit back and go through it all, slowly unpick where we need to go. This is the player, Rogi. I don't know if you saw or not. We tried to buy a Brazilian on a free transfer. This lad, he came on trial. He was all set, and he was very, very happy to discuss a contract with us until Paris Saint-Germain came in for him. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm going to go to Paris Saint-Germain." You're like, Of course you are. See who's going down from the Premier League. I mean, to be fair, as I said, I'm not massively fussed about leaving. West Brom, Nottingham Forest and Fulham. I mean, I think Forest I'd be happy with, but not overly fussed about West Brom or Fulham. I mean, Scotland could be a laugh, right? Scotland could be a laugh. We all love Scotland last time. That was decent. Nothing could possibly go wrong there. End of an era for the University of Bolton Stadium. There we go. It's all over. They're moving stadium, and they're moving into a smaller stadium to go and take residency into that Loft House Arena. Well, here we go. A couple of half decent talents. Elite talents as well. Owen Nolan, Kevin Kipani. I don't know if we are interested in this Thai player from Sheffield United. Probably not, actually. Great. Reece Morgan's injured. Brilliant. Jam tarts. The thing is with the jam tarts as well is that we've obviously got beef with Hibs from last year. So Hearts would be pretty good. We'd go and stoke a rival with them. You know, that could work. Right, so Owen Morgan needs to come out probably for Montel, I reckon. I've actually put Bradley Nixon in there. No. Montel. Put Montel there, make him an AP. Robin playmaker, see if that works. Because you never know, that could be. No idea why, but Hearts, my favourite Scottish team. Yeah, they're a decent side of Hearts. Right, let's have a little look then, shall we? See what we can do. 4-3-3. So we've tried a few different formations with this side. We haven't fully decided on what we're going to stick with just yet, but that's what pre-season's for, isn't it? We can get the tactics board out. We can start working on a plan. Winter with the ball in. Oh, Stephen Welsh gives us a goal. That's what we want. 6 minutes in. Captain Fantastic gets on the end of it. 1-0 up. That's the start we need. That's exactly the start we need. It's exactly the start we need. Here's Wintle with another corner. Oh, he's got another one. He's got another one. Dreadful goalkeeping. Dreadful goalkeeping. I mean, I'm not getting the paper out to write down this goalkeeper's name, by the way, but we are not buying Flecken at all. He looks awful. I am actually just writing down. Already starting to write down our squad. So, first of all, just put goalkeeper. I think we could probably do with some height as well. We don't really have much height. We're lacking technical players. We've got some older players in here that we don't really need. Hyam pulls it back for Williams. Rooney. I know we bought Rooney in, who's a 31-year-old, but that was needs must. Johnny Kenny. There we go. Now here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Where is it? See, part of me's thinking, right? If we can do something with Bolton, if we stay at Bolton, right, and we do something, Raggio sent me this link, and I'd be tempted to buy that. I would be tempted to buy that. That is a lovely Bolton Wanderers shirt. You know, but it's a long way. It's a long way off. I'm also concerned as to how it's taken us until the last game of the season to work out that three forwards is the way to go. Johnny Kenny disallowed, could have been 4-0. Okay, MJ's going to come off injured, which means we'll move Ryan Wintle into move him out of the back, I think. James Shaw in. He's coming from Wolves. He's not really played a lot, and I think Wolves are a little bit unhappy about that. Oh, it's off the line. Cleared away. At 6'4", you'd have thought he'd have been a bit more of an imposing figure, but he really isn't. He really isn't, sadly. But this win moves us up to 17th, which kind of sort of masks a few problems, I think, really. But at the same time, I think that we've not really been as bad as some of our results have suggested. So I'm sort of torn, you know what I mean? Like, are we that bad, or are we just unlucky? Obviously, there's no way to fully tell. Oof, Winter with a good effort there. Winter with the ball in, Shaw's intercepted. Great tackle by Wintle. Great tackle. Okay, nice ball in. Nodded back. Ooh, nearly an own goal. That's by Shaw. Ooh, I think we're sending him back to Wolves. I don't think we're going to keep him, to be honest. Don't think we're going to keep him at all. But this shape's worked well for us. About 14 shots, 7 on target. Maybe we work slightly better with the actual quality of chances created, which should theoretically work with better players and better strikers. Defensively, though, we're weak, aren't we? Defensively, we're weak. Nice movement off the ball. Just nobody's picking him up. Nobody at all picking him up. Ball's into a dangerous area, and it's this guy here. Rooney just looks. Gotts is nowhere to be seen. I mean, Gotts is having to come back and track back. It's yeah, a little bit all over the place in defence, but let's be happy with the fact that we have finished the season with a huge win, 3-1 over Ipswich. We actually did the double over Ipswich because we beat them when we first joined as well. So we beat them 2-1, then we beat them 3-1. Final game of the season. Rotherham are down. Sheffield Wednesday have saved themselves. Luton came off the bottom, but Shrewsbury went to the bottom of the table. But yeah, Wednesday survive on goal difference. Ooh. That's interesting. That is interesting. You know what I mean? That is interesting. Let's get that league table. Let's get that tweeted out, shall we? Okay, there we go. Never in doubt. Right, let's clip out the bit about the fact we're moving to a smaller stadium as well. Dunzos. Cool. Twitter information sent. Now I'll have a look at the job centre. Now have a look at the job centre. I mean, look. Unless there's something that's really interesting that comes up, I think we stay. And at the minute, Norwich, I think, is the most interesting. Norwich is definitely the most interesting. Hearts could be fun. There'll be a nice piece of narrative of replacing Alex Neil. We could replace Philippe Cocu at Bristol City. I mean, they've got Hummel kits, so we're always going to be interested in that. But at the minute, I don't really feel the need to move on. Like, I feel as though we've jumped ship from York. I'm quite upset that York have been relegated, actually. That's the problem. I don't think that's not quite what we were hoping for, is it? You know? Here's the end of season review. Not really much we can say, to be honest, about that. Obviously, they're happy with Reece Morgan, who's come in and done a great job, I think, to be honest. Sergio Montel has done a great job as well. James Shaw, apparently they were happy with that. I'm intrigued, because I didn't think he did particularly well, to be honest. Bristol's training facilities are amazing. They are amazing, to be honest. They finished below us, though, so they're obviously not very good. So, yeah, there you go. Clean sweep, isn't it? Best result, 4-0 at Sheffield Wednesday, and then the best game, the Sunderland match, and of course we scored some incredible goals. We need to bring some more cash into the club, obviously, because we're Bolton. Let's do the old save game. So that's end of season 7, I believe now. Yeah. So end of season 7. So we're going to do that in case we decide to do any sort of like roundups on YouTube or whatever. Peacock Farrell is now in the best 11. I mean, this is going to be awkward if we sell him, really, isn't it? It'll be very awkward. Budgets. Let's see what the budgets are like, shall we? Let's see. Budgets. £1 million transfer budget. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, £1 million for a transfer budget is not going to be. It's not going to get us much, is it? It's not going to get us a lot. What do we do? What do we do at this point? Next season again. So next season, avoid relegation, right? So that's fine. So they're not expecting much. Obviously, they're not expecting much because, you know, if they were, then we're gonna get sacked pretty quickly. Work within the wage budget. Well, clearly. Sign players under the age of 23. Excellent. Get rid of the old players. Maximum 1 year contracts going to be easy because we get rid of the players. Repair the club's financial damage. Yes, that's exactly it. That is exactly it. And then in 4 years' time, they want to be in the top half of the championship. So, to be fair to Bolton, right? They're not hanging me out to dry and being like, right, you managed to stay up this year. Next year we want a top half finish. They know where we're at, right? They know this is going to take a long time. So for us, that works quite well. We're not one to rush stuff, and we're not one for instant glory. So I kind of feel that Bolton and I are going to be on the same page here. Okay, it is achievable. You're right, Bob. Welcome in, by the way. Big shout, of course, for Cozza, Bob. Pleasure to have you in, my man. Hope you're well. Let's just make sure that we can tick this one right, because we don't want to be getting relegated. We want to avoid relegation. So let's see what the correct response is. So we've done well to avoid relegation, and we'll do well to make sure we aren't involved in the battle to do so next season. Already looking next season, we're definitely good enough to avoid being drawn in a relegation battle. Is it that one or is it this one? Let's click that one. That's the one. There you go. Let's get some promises when everyone comes back as well, because some of these players will not be coming back from their holidays, because they'll be sold, not because we're killing them off or anything like that, but maybe. You never know. You never know. There is, of course, some possibilities there that I'm not going to say for definite. Right. Let's quickly... I've not done my... Not done my data hub. Not done my data hub, have I? It's part of my problem here. Part of my problem. Okay. So XG. Oh, there we go. XG match story. Add that. We don't have great analytics, so again, not a massive issue because it's well, it's something that we look at, but not hugely. I think with this, we're going to have to be quite smart with our recruitment. So, who's up for really detailed planning and going through potentially a few stats and like sort of players who are in form in the league? Who fancies that tonight? That could be a thing, couldn't it? I mean, let's be honest. A lot of who we try and recruit is going to be free transfers from the Premier League. Cass, appreciate the sub again. That's very, very kind. 12 months of support. Genuinely appreciate that. Looking at stats, what have we become? Good point, actually, Rogie. Yeah, let's be honest. Who wants to take a guess at how next year is going to go? And we will just do what we do, and we'll bundle along. And I mean, I think didn't we once try and actually try and sort of like recruit by stats once, and it just backfired horrendously? I think it probably did. Snap, appreciate the follow, very kind. Hope you're well. Welcome in. How's your Scandinavian save gone, by the way, Cass? I saw you tweeting out that you've obviously moved to Copenhagen, I think it was, wasn't it? Seems like you're having a great time over there. It is fun. Scandinavia is fun, to be honest. If you've not done Scandinavia, then you're missing out. You need to do it on FM23. Absolutely, because it's the way. It's just fun. It's just fun. The leagues are relatively short. The players are very, very good. Financially, there's not a lot of money in there, but you know, stuff you can get. You can find a few little sort of like young prospects and good talents. So if you've got anyone who's half decent, you can sell them for a reasonable amount of money. Obviously, it's then a bit tricky to replace them. And as Cozza Bob will be able to tell you, if you're considering playing in Scandinavia, come and have a quick hangout with us next Sunday for TJFM versus the Community Draft Tournament, where we will be playing Scandinavian Draft Pool, of course, because that's why we said it, really, to be honest. We're going to be using a £20 million budget, which isn't very much at all, to be honest. But at the same time, it's also more than enough, given just how sort of cheap players can be in Scandinavia. So it's definitely worth signing up for if you're around. We might have a little bit of money ball approach, but a little bit. But I mean, essentially, we need to move players on and then try and move those wages into something else, because I think it's going to be mainly loans and free transfers if we can do such a thing. Because let's be honest, we're Bolton. That's what we do, right? No one's going to be going, oh, did you hear about Bolton when they signed that £30 million player? Nope. Not a thing. And we can look at some of these players here and go, everyone was awful last season, because we ended up in a relegation battle, so of course there was nobody going to be playing better than they should be. I mean, look at this. Like, no one's doing well in terms of goal output. So, right, let's have a look. What have we got then? Richie, how are you, buddy? Welcome in. Look at the stats, help for set pieces. Yes, agreed. Tony looking at stats. End of times or a bold new direction. Cass is off to Djurgården. Ooh, that's a good fit. That's a very good fit. Did I mention that? Were you in the stream last night, Cass? You were, weren't you? I'm currently looking at the Harkin job for the Discord challenge, and the Djurgården one's the one that I want. But Harkin also seems like it might be quite good fun just for like a season, just to go in there and play around in Sweden for a little bit. Because I'm not going to win the challenge anyway, because obviously I created it, so it's unfair for me to win. Plus I'm taking part, which means I won't win. So it's one of those. So let's have a look then in terms of what we've got as decent things at the club. So Jay Glass is someone who's potentially quite handy. Yes, maybe he is. Let's move him into the first team. So he's 17 years old. Not a bad player, to be honest. Matthias Filer, Slovakian right back. There you go. After all that time, we were looking at right backs. We might have even had one, to be honest. Darren Healy. Darren's not looking great. I'll be honest. He's quick, but apart from that, he's got a lot of goals in the reserves, but he's also joining Dundee United, so that's not going to help either. So fair enough. Okay, goalkeepers are good. Are coming off the line to deal with danger. I would argue maybe not. Tom Pearce is one of 3 options at left back. Tom Pearce again was one of those ones that's, he's 30, right? Look, Tom Pearce for me didn't play well enough. Okay, he's a question mark for me. He's certainly not a starter. He's on 16 grand a week as well. So I think we maybe need to move him out, I'm afraid. He's been at the club for a while. This could be the end of days for Tom Pearce, to be honest. Stephen Welsh is one of 5 good options at centre-back. I wouldn't say 5, but he's certainly going to be one of our better centre-backs. So Welsh, he stays. He's got 1 year left on his contract. I don't think he'll sign a new contract because, again, 11 grand is a lot of money. So we'll see. MJ is a difficult one, right? Because, yes, he's good. He's 32. Yes, AJ, welcome in. Welcome. We say for MJ, and then AJ turns up. Hope you're well, my man. How's Drakes? We've obviously just you've just missed us, unless you've been lurking away. We've just stayed up, so we've managed to survive with Bolton. So sort of out of fortune, sort of out of everyone else being a bit shit around us. So that sort of was where we are. We're now into the recruitment window and summer transfers. So now's the exciting bit. Now we start to work out who we're going to keep and who we're going to get rid of. I think Robbie Gotts has probably got another year left, and I think 28 years old, keep him. We can't gut the entire team, so Robbie's got to stay, I reckon. Welsh is decent value, only got 1 year left. Someone's saying cash in on Welsh, maybe, but he is also quite tricky to replace, to be honest. We've not got a great deal of depth outside of the first team squad. I'd agree with that 100%, to be honest. Tom Pearce has struggled for form. Yep. We're currently spending 30 grand a week over the wage budget. Now that's facts right there. Mediocre squad compared to the rest of the league. We don't have good tackling. We don't have good corners. We're not strong. We're not pacey. We're not fit. I mean, it's not great, is it? 4-2-3-1 has contributed to conceding an average of 4 clear-cut chances per 90 minutes. We need more right backs, yeah, which we know about. We need more strikers. We need more midfielders, which again, we tried to get midfielders in. Yeah, we basically need everything at this point. You know, that's £30, not 30k. Is it? Oh yeah, it's £30 a week, yeah. Well, it feels like 30k over, to be honest, because there we are. We did do a bit of adjusting budgets to get even to this bit, so Again, it's not ideal. Plus, that's not good either. There's 7.3 million in there as well. It's a lot of draft. Sorry, yeah, Bob's talking about the Scandinavian draft. I think that's gonna be a tricky one. That I think people are gonna look at that and go, £20 million is nothing, and it's not. It is an absolute pittance, but I think there's a lot of cheeky little players in there for Scandinavia, so it might work out all right. So let's go through the players then. Let's have a little look at what we've got. Okay. So Connor Ripley. Okay. 35 years old. I mean, he's not someone we need, is he? Really, to be honest. So Ripley can go. Okay. And I think Bailey Peacock Farrell goes to backup. 12 grand a week for a backup though is not great. So I think we need a first team goalkeeper. Right. Okay, I think we need a first team keeper because 74 goals conceded is not good enough for me. That's not good enough. Is it? Do you know what I mean? Like, he's conceded 88 goals in 57 matches. Yeah. Plus he hasn't played for 3 seasons at Burnley. So why we've brought him in, I've got no idea. Mackenzie Chapman is going to go as well because he wants to leave. So fine, he can go and do whatever he wants to do. Stephen Welsh, I think we keep him. But if someone comes in for him, then yeah, we're going to have to sell him, aren't we, to be honest? That's the problem. Mungo Bridge, again. We keep him. He's 15 grand a week on wages. He was playing decent at left back. Again, let's not worry about the fact that he's called Mungo Bridge. That's the man who has to stay. He has to stay, Rogie. Don't worry. For me, he should have Mungo on his Mungo number 5. Mungo number 5. I'm changing it. Change his nickname. Right, Mungo number 5 stays. Right. Sean Rooney stays at right back. We brought him in from Hibs, so that's cool. He can stay. Okay. Bridge stays, Rooney stays, Welch stays. Fila we've just moved up from the reserves in the youth systems. We'll see what he does. The 18-year-old Slovak player, formerly of Man United apparently. Interesting. Okay, now that's all the defence we've got. That is literally the defence, right? Ryan Wintle has been playing in defence. Who's a midfielder, but if you look at his recent form, he's playing really well in defence. So do we keep him at centre half? He's 30. He's out of contract, so he might leave. Right, so let's put this as a thing. Okay, so Wintle could leave. CB, DM, Wintle, EOC, question mark. Mungo's mum on Twitter is my favourite account ever. Really? I can't say I'm familiar with it, so... Right, Wintle's a possibility. He will need a new contract if he's going to stay, so we'll see. MJ still has a contract. Ivor Lenton we've brought in, so he's sort of a bit of a backup. So we know he's a backup, okay? But he could drop in at centre half if needs be, okay? Again, look, we've bought him £2,700. We've also got a guy coming in from Celtic as well who's going to be in the centre half. So let's have a look. Where is it? I'll try. Yeah, here we go. Ian Smith is coming in. Fullback who could also play centre back if needs be. So he's coming from Celtic. So back. So he comes in, so he's going to be okay. Maybe more of a fullback, because obviously his heading's not great. Determination's very good though. Leadership's very good. Positioning's good as well. Tackling very good. Acceleration not so much, but he's coming on a free transfer, so he'll be exciting to see. We've got this guy coming in apparently. Geron San Marie. Oh no, he's joining Shamrock Rovers from us. Greengrass is going out as well. Healy's going out as well. Okay, that's fine. So Tom Pierce, we don't know about. I think it's a lot of money for a backup player, to be honest. I think Josh Doyle does the job just as well. As a backup. So midfield, Dempsey, I think goes. Okay, I think Dempsey goes. He's 32, 17.5 grand a week. He is on the decline, right? So I think we cut him loose. He looks like a villain as well from a, I don't know, like a film or something. We might be able to get some money for him, which would be quite interesting, but yeah, we'll see. For me, he's not really sort of the stamp for what we want going forward. I think I'd rather keep Robbie Gotts. Dembele. I think we keep, but again, if someone else, Rockstar Spud, that's it. Yes, a Tesco Rockstar Spud. I mean, have you just taught me into keeping him? That's the question. Oh, see, Rogie, you've changed me around now. I was all set to let him go, but not now. Right, Shoba Thomas, he's going to be set for release. He's going. I had enough of him already. Jay Glass, of course, is the young lad we brought through from the youth system. They're reckoning potentially 4-star potential, so that could be quite good fun for us. Darcy is on loan at Rochdale. He is out of contract in the summer. The fact that he's at Rochdale probably says a lot, doesn't it? He's not going to get in the team. I think we have to start being ruthless as well and be like, right, this guy is not good enough. Scott Twine. Twine stays. Ronan Darcy is the lad that ended up accidentally cutting his thumb off. I don't know. Sorba basically has just been a bit of a whinger, right? And he should be the best player at the club by a country mile, but whenever he plays, he's dreadful, and he missed an absolute sitter for us as well. When I first joined the club, we should have won the game 2-1. He was clear through on goal. He misses it, and we then end up losing that game 3-1. So for that, I've been angry at him, and I think he's going to go. Plus, we can save 13 grand a week on his wages, and we'll spend that money elsewhere. I think Dapo 13. He's 30 years old. Roland Curtis. Excellent stuff. There's some mad stuff in it. Footballers, man. Footballers. What are they like? Dapo maybe stays. Maybe we get someone else in if we can do. Nixon stays. He's got a contract until 30-31. Johnny Kenny stays. Absolutely, he does. Put everything through him. We're probably not going to be able to keep Ray Hyam. If we can, that'd be great. We're not paying anything on his wages, so we'll see if we can maybe look to re-extend that deal. It was fairly good for us. But again, we could maybe get a better player. And Hurst Davison as well, I think. I don't know if we go back in for him or not. So yeah, so there's a few. So basically, we need a defence, really. We need a goalkeeper, something in the midfield, and a striker. And apart from that, we're all right. Like after we've done all that, we're totally fine. Chris Moore, formerly of Leeds. He's not a bad player. We've got him on the shortlist already. 52 players on this little alert here, so we'll have a quick look. Some players might be worth a look at. Jordan Monday, 19 years old. I can't see him developing too much. Duke McKenna we had a look at. Josh Benson we had a look at previously. Andres Nemeth we had a look at. He's getting better, but I think I don't know if we're going to be able to get him. 6'2", strength 5 to 7. That's worrying, isn't it? Passing's not great. He's a winger, but apparently he's got a decent finish on him and a decent bit of dribbling. I wonder if he'll come on a trial. See if he'll come. We can have a little look at him, see what else he can do. Josh Tobin's the guy we thought we were going to get from, but we really buggered the deal up. So, I have to see, has he got a relegation clause or anything? No. Ian Hogan at Fleetwood. Decent mentals, technicals aren't great, I don't think. Faustin Lokvar. Good communication, good aerial reach. Handling's fine. Reflexes are okay. Positioning's good, determination's good. Plays for Newcastle though. That's the problem, isn't it? So don't really want to be giving them any money. So maybe a loan, possibly. Jimmy Dunn we know about, we can't afford, sadly. Ben Wilkinson, we sort of know about. We can't really afford him either. He plays everywhere across the back line. So again, could be an interesting one to look at. Maybe available on a free transfer as well. So keep our eyes peeled on him. It might be decent for a bit of backup, an extra player, an extra body to have in. Again, Ethan Laird, again another player that we know about, but just we don't have the money for. 26 grand a week. Beck Tass, not convinced he's the right player to come in for. David Oliver again, don't know. Tom Wilkinson, maybe. Again, decent enough mentals. He's only 18, could improve, but not sure. Bobby Pike, good teamwork, good determination, good bravery. 22 years old. He's probably not going to develop much more than he is now, though, is he? Yeah, these technical attributes aren't good enough, unfortunately, at this stage of his career. Embleton we're not going to be able to afford, but again would be relatively decent for our division. Keenan Davis again is going to be too expensive, I think. 16 grand. He's out of contract though. It's maybe one worth a look at. But he is 30. Martin Jensen. This guy looks like he could be a player, to be honest. That's 17 years old. He's got pretty much everything. Agility, vision, 17 vision when he's only 17 years old. 15 for composure, 15 determination, like 14 off the ball. This kid is going to be a player. Really good player to keep our eyes out on. Don't know where he's going to go, but it's probably not going to be us. But first touch, free kick taking, passing, crossing, like he could just walk into a Premier League team right now at 17. Never mind Charlton, who are in League One. Like, insane, right? Jeremy Shaw, pretty much the same. to be honest, over at Birmingham. 18 years old. First touch 16, passing 16, technique 17, balance 16, flair 15. I mean, a lone player, if we can potentially do it, but I don't believe we're going to get him through the door either. Richter, goalkeeper from RB Leipzig. I can't imagine we'll get a keeper from Leipzig. Do you know what I mean? Like, £2,000 on loan. Okay. Maybe. Luciano, of course, we can go back in for him next year. James Claridge at Plymouth. Jumping reach only 13. Heading's 13. Good championship player. Forest to Sunderland. Played 40 games though for Plymouth. Where'd they end up? 21st in League One. It's not great, is it? Although, if he's cheap, he might be alright. Amari Fawson, Millwall player, 23-year-old Ghanaian. Not on a massive amount of money. I always try because sometimes you can pull out someone out of the bag. Yeah, there's definitely some players that we can maybe get involved in. So we'll have a look at that Jensen, lads. See if we can do something with him. But I don't know if they're gonna be interested in doing a deal with us, mate. But we shall see. Braille Phillip, Dominican Republic, on loan from West Brom. Laurie Barlow is probably going to be ridiculously expensive because he's from Liverpool. He's not actually. His wages are crazy high, but jumping reach, heading, tackling, marking's really poor. Could be a leading championship player. We'll say Zamossi is apparently better. 22-year-old Hungarian on loan from Sheffield United. Out of contract from Sheffield United as well. I mean, heading's only 10 though. Jumping reach 15. Bravery 17. Has he got a UK passport as well? He does. Okay. Burgess we've looked at. Appiah Forson we've looked at. Max Johnson we've looked at. Greg Taylor, 27 grand, we're not going to get anywhere near him. Jason Knight, again, probably earns a bit too much. Liam Kitching, 28 years old, no nonsense, fullback. Can play centre half as well, can he? 14 for jumping, 13 for heading. He is listed. He's going to want a decent wage. He's definitely worth a look at though. Sean Longstaff we're not bothered about. Zibik Kabula, we can't even pronounce, so I don't know if that's a good idea to try and go in for him, but again, for a 17-year-old, he could be quite decent. 16 pace for a defender, man. Do you know what I mean? It's just unfair. Kieran Chisholm. Really, really fast. Decent passing. Can't really cross or dribble, that's the problem though. And his tackling's not good, so he's not really a fullback either. So, not convinced. Plus at 14 grand a week, that's far too much. Far too much. Silko Thomas sort of falls into the same situation as well. I don't see why they would. I mean, he plays on both sides, so fine. He would again act as a bit of cover, but I'm not convinced there's enough there to suggest he comes through. Strength of 9. No, maybe not. Sorry, scouts. We also have to get some new scouts because I also don't think they're very good. Josh Smith, 5'2" fullback. No chance. No chance. I don't care how good he is. Francisco Jose, there's our other boy. Will Hunt from Shelbourne. See, decent dribbling, decent acceleration. That's sort of what we're after. You know, passing's fine, off the ball's fine. Vision's not good though. Shiftchi, the Turkish centre back, or Turkish wing back, in fact. Mustafa Shiftchi. Could we get anything there? It's going to be. I think it's going to be expensive, isn't he? Plus, we might not even get a work permit for him. Dominic Yorfer as well as the other guy we know about. Lions Force we know about. Thomas Pittman. Ooh, okay, you could be interesting. Lincoln. What does it say? Okay, second most possessions won in League Two, fourth most key tackles, fifth most interceptions. It's pretty good. Not massive. Wait, 22nd on blocks, 21st on headers, and 23rd on clearances. So not great. He has lost the ball 158 times. That's in League Two, but attributes-wise, he doesn't look too bad. And a Zeri centre-half Rogi. We've got to do this, surely. A free transfer. Anar Memedov. Got to happen. Got to do it. Got to get him in. The trial's been sent. Come and hang out with us. It'll be great. Christopher Cheeseman. Again, we look to this guy from Blackburn. We need this fella in. He's got to wait for his contract to expire, but there's a lot to like here. Plus, he's 6'4". Christopher Cheeseman, a sniper's dream. Brian Reed. Rob Dickey, 32. So there's a lot of players that we've just seen, but there's also a lot of players who don't actually do anything. Or who look like they're actually of any use to anybody. So a quick little look for expiring in 3 months. The big cheese, yeah. Daniel Bentley. Daniel Hubl from Slavia Prague. Handling, kicking, commanding of area, reflexes, punching. Would he get a work permit? He would get a work permit. Daniel Holub. I mean, there's a potential, isn't it? Just get a massive Czech goalkeeper in. Is he big? He's only 6 foot. He's not as big as we were expecting. Chilean goalkeeper at Southend, obviously. Lewis Thomas at Crystal Palace. Ethan Ross. Will Norris. A bit too old again. Anthony Patterson. Is he free, is he? His handling's not great though, is it? But he's very good at something in real life. Again, I'm not convinced he's much of a step up, and sadly from what we've got, unfortunately. So maybe we just keep our eyes peeled with Bailey Farrell at this point. Ashby Hammond though is better. He looks like he might actually be better in real life as well. Sorry, on the game I should say, sorry. Oops, just click that. Centre halves, remember. That's what we need to look for. So Liam Kitching is out of contract. Zamosi's out of contract. Barlow, Memedov. is out of contract. So that's again the big Azeri guy is a player that we want in. DMs, any DMs there? Billy Heaps from Tottenham could be all right. Deli Bashiri. Obviously, we had him previously. Ethan Briley. There's a couple of guys that I've noticed as well. I've spotted from Cliftonville in Northern Ireland. I've got a guy on the shortlist who I'm very, very much looking forward to trying to bring in. So James Hayes. It's not too bad. Determination 19. Teamwork's only 11 though. Jordan James. Looks reasonable, doesn't he? Notts County, Sheffield Wednesday. Lots of teams in and around us. $4,000. It's not massively expensive, is he? Joe Williams. 21 grand. We're not spending 21 grand. Charlie Colkett. Probably is a bit old, isn't he? Charlie Colkett. 31. But he sort of does what we need. That's the problem. Alex Mowatt's definitely too old. Jordan Munday, we've had a look at. We're not convinced by. Lucas Reed. Adrian Blake, no chance. No chance. Are we going to play a wide players? What are we thinking in terms of formation next year? Like what? I mean, that. I guess we finished with that 4-3-3. That was pretty decent on our last game of the season. You know, is there an argument to go 4-3-3? Is there an argument to go narrow? Like, I don't know. Not entirely sure what the best plan of action is, to be honest. But it's going to depend entirely on. Well, now it's the question of what do we do? Do we go and recruit for a new tactic, or do we plan to basically go with what we've got? To be fair, Cass, where we're looking at is there's not really many of the players we're going to be keeping per se. Like hire your own reps. Yeah, we're sort of looking around at some stuff like we're going to keep a couple of defenders, 2 strikers, and maybe a midfielder. So we've certainly got scope to build around and change things. So I'm not locked down 100% with what we have to do. I'm quite open to new ideas. Ultimately, we need more numbers. We need more numbers in the squad. So Daniel Holub is potentially not going to be our starting goalkeeper just on initial looks, but Memedov is 100% going to be there. Big Azeri defender, 24 caps, reasonable acceleration, determined, good positioning, passing's fine, tackling's okay, heading's alright, jumping reach is good though, and he can play as a carriero. Like, what more do we want? What more can we need? Ashby Hammond apparently not really great. Patterson not really great. Yeah, I think we have to get him in and sell Welsh. Well, we need to see when he's available, to be honest, because we'd have to wait for his contract a bit to expire. I think him and Welsh could be a decent partnership, really. Mason, I made a bid for Declan Thompson, right, so we don't need him. We can take him off the shortlist. That's fine. We could do with someone who can deliver set plays. That would be handy. I think we sort of lack that a little bit. That's one of the things that's not really. I mean, Kitchen as well looks pretty decent. They're talking about reasonable wages for the boy, so maybe he might not be the guy, but he's an option, right? Peter Molden's considering his options. I mean, I can consider them for you right now, mate. There you are, set for release. You're gone. In fact, let's go through some of the contracts now and work out who's expiring. So Connor Ripley, 35 years old. We don't need another backup goalkeeper, do we, at 35? So set him for release. He can leave. Ryan Wintle. I think we maybe try and do a deal to keep Wintle, do we? Toba we've set for release. Darcy, I think we release him. Do you reckon? Do you reckon we get rid of Darcy? Has he got anything that we need? $7,000. He's currently on loan at Rochdale. I mean, he's been at the club a long time, but that's just sentiment, right? That's just sentiment. Steve Turner could become a player, maybe. Don't know. Dion Charles can go. Again, he's $15,000. Let's have a quick little ask about this. Dollar Dobson. Let's have an ask about this lad here, this Jensen. Oh, okay, right. Do we go in for this youngster? Because he could be a player, right? This lad at 17 for vision, as we say, 15 for determination, first touch, free kicks, agility, technique. 17 years old. Do we bring him through? He's going to cost us £1,000. It would allow us to get a bit of width. It would allow us to replace Hyam. So if we stuck with this formation here, he'd fit in it. He's young, he's English. What's he done? £1,000 a week, 25 shots. It's not too much, but he's had 5 assists. So he's had 5 assists, 8 chances created, 38 key passes. He would come in and he would be potentially, well, Davison's going to be going, Hyam's going to be going, Thomas is going to be going, so he'd be up there with Scott Twine with a bit more potential. He was an advanced playmaker. Impressed with his work rate. I think we have a go for it. Let's ignore the extra wages there. Take the playmaker bit off. Let's see what they might say. And yeah, I think we released Darcy as well. Okay. So that could be a thing. Right. I guess if we have a look now at player stats. Right, so if we look for things like interceptions, Nelios Bombelios, glad you kept them up. Looking forward to summer call, Cullen rebuild. Yes, Nelios, we absolutely are. I'm glad that you're approving of us staying up. It was more down to everyone else being a bit crap, to be honest, than ourselves. We pretty much stumbled over the line, and we weren't looking convincing at all. So, you know, it's definitely worth keeping our eyes on how we get on, because we are going to have to improve massively, I think, between now and the and next season. So we'll see what we can get. But yeah, we'll see where we go, because we need to try and really get some better players in, to be honest. So interceptions, let's have a look and see who's intercepting a lot. Kane, Kessler, Hayden, who is very good, quite frankly, and won't be coming anywhere near us, I'd imagine. No, he's not going to be interested. Romani Edmonds Green also as well, 13.5 grand. He's not coming. Stephen Welsh, look at that. There you go, third highest interceptions in the league. Stephen Welsh. Chris Meffam, again, we can't afford him. Jason McCarthy, we probably can't afford at 20 grand, but he's up there. Ronnie Edwards, former Posh. Seems you're a playoff expert. Any advice? I always seem to bottle it. Just go in and do your thing. That's all you got to do, you know? For me, I don't know how... I'm not entirely sure how we managed to get playoff success, but usually it's just a case of going just... Yeah, there's that as well. Rogi's already... I'm busy trying to fill time here, and Rogi's like, Tony also fucks things up, so don't take all of his advice. Yeah, I'm not... I'm good at narrative. There's also moments where things go wrong. So, yeah, I'd look at that with a slight hint of don't fully listen to what I say, because sometimes I'm wrong. Owen Williams, though, from Man United, looks like a player, so we'll keep an eye on him. Reece Norrington Davies, Jake Cooper. Everyone's on so much money. 25 grand, Bristol City, you know. We haven't got this kind of money. Dominic Thompson, 18 grand. What's £8 million? What are these players on? Matthew Pennington, there you go, 6 grand. He's 33. Henry Lawrence, 35 grand. Reece Burke, 31. Zach Viner. I mean, look, they're the top players for interceptions, and we can't afford a single one of them. Typical. What about blocks? Tarek Owake. Gets all over the place, doesn't he? Denver Hume. Former Sunderland player. Peter Chioso. 18 grand. Not really something we can afford there either. Joe Tomlinson. Pretty cheap. 5'6" though. Sean Ruffin. 5'9", no nonsense fullback. Sheffield Wednesday, makes a lot of blocks. Don't really know what else he does though, to be honest. Chad Thompson Brown, on loan from Villa. Wilson Abrams, too expensive. Lloyd Kelly's too expensive. Nick Shott looks pretty handy, to be honest. Yeah, contract for 2030, so can't imagine we're going to get him there. Evening, Rick, how are you, buddy? Rich, welcome in. Ashley Maitland-Niles at Wolves, 61 grand a week. Yeah, how are you, my man? You've just missed us stay up in the championship, so we set out, we did what we had to do. It wasn't pretty, but we did it. Somehow. mainly because everyone else was dreadful and just kept dropping points, to be honest. Adalto from Arsenal. You got the job done. We did get the job done, which is exactly what we needed. Now it's the rebuild. Now the rebuild's coming in, and this is where things really start to get interesting. Sammy Baybrook. Okay, so we're looking at crossing percentage here, and he's not very expensive. He's 5'8", dribbling's reasonable, passing's not too shabby, determination's fine. I mean, according to our scouts, he's a good player. Wanted by Hull. Let's pop a little scout report on him. See what they're saying. What's he like? $6,000. Okay. We'll keep our eyes on him. That's quite a lot of money for us still. $6,000. James Hill's too expensive. Josh Onoa. Remember him? Murray Wallace. $13,000. Lewis Fioni. Den Donker. Robbie Gotts. Bruno Leal. Look at that fella. He's ridiculous. It's ridiculous for Borough. Damn it, Borough. Yoni Gonzalez. Joe Linton at Norwich. Excellent. Thiago Almada at Sheffield United. John Swift. Possession 1. Who's winning the ball back? Daniel Ballard. $41,000. Jake Cooper. Again, probably too expensive. Everyone's really, really expensive, which I guess is kind of makes sense because like we're used to obviously being low down in the non-leagues and Indonesia and things like that. We're coming into the Championship now, where players have money. Alfie Gilchrist isn't a bad shout, actually. We're not going to be able to afford him, but maybe there's someone who's got a relegation release clause or something somewhere. Jack O'Connell still down in the Championship. Jacob Graves, Liam Scales. There's no one really sort of like playing as like an outlier, essentially. So look at shots parried. Shall we do it parried or held? Daniel Barden. Actually, for a goalkeeper who was in a team who were relegated, he actually doesn't look too bad. What about Hull as well? So Hull seem to be looking at most players that we're potentially looking at. So Bryce Samba, Rodak Grimshaw, Bolton. Let's have a look at maybe saves held. Apparently Peacock Farrell actually saved a lot of shots. I don't really believe it. Not from what I was watching. It didn't look like he was saving many. So, there is that to look at. He was making a lot of, there was a lot of efforts at him, but whether that's a good thing or a bad thing remains to be seen. Mike Cooper. That's Tottenham are interested in him, right? So that's a player that we're not going to get, isn't it? If Tottenham are interested in him, might as well hope for Hull. Gavin Bazunu, of course, as well at the bottom. Expected save percentage. Lotatula. Okay, right. Let's have a look at assists. Chances created, actually. Where's chances created? Here we go. Who was making chances? Jesus Pereira from Ipswich. Look at him. Look at that guy. Zavranek. Ajayi. 44 grand. We're not getting anywhere near this sort of money. 59 grand for Ryan Christie. DeMarco. Roshinha. Villabera. Piero. Yeah. Like all these. Yeah, I'm having a great time looking at these players going, oh, look at all the interesting players we've got here. But what I should really be doing is ringing around Sunday leagues going, has anybody got any players who live close to Bolton and would be happy to come and play for us for no money? Because I think that's the conversation I need to be having with people. We could also do with some better scouts. That could help as well. Ben Cunningham. I don't think I'm going to be one of the best players here. Or Zerafino Buia. That's not a thing. We're not going to do that. You're not getting 300 grand a week or a month. Better scouts always works. I think you're right. Rob Scott, 12 and 11. We have got I've got an advert out for a scout, so hopefully someone will come in. Corey Leonard could be okay. Bektas, Diagne. Van der Leer. Ryan Longman, Kane Wilson. There's a blast from the past, isn't it? Praying Otto gets sacked in my game so I can steal his job. That's what you need to do, innit? That's exactly what you need to do. Phil Maker looks half decent. Ray Davies looks good at Hibs. On loan from Brighton. So we could have another look at him. It's also that thing as well, we need to wait for some players to come back from loan. And then see if they'll actually come and sign for us next season. Because if they do, then we could potentially rejuvenate the side, change it all up completely, just based on Premier League players coming in on loan. Now, how many loan players are we allowed? I think it's 5, 6 maybe. Where is it here? Maximum of 4 players on long-term loans from the same club in a season. 6 foreign-based players on loan, 6 players on loan to a foreign team club, 2 from long-term from the same team. Okay, right. So we're looking at 4 players. Right, that's fine. Adam Campbell, was he the guy that we looked at we thought was good? Yes, he's on the shortlist. Because again, for 19, he's not too shabby. Good finishing, good technique. Flair and decision making's fine. His physicals are good. He's a maybe. You know. Right, Watford relegated. Yeah, we're not paying this money, mate. Let's see if they're going to change their mind at any point. Here's a Seba, 16 potential, 13 ability. It's pretty good. Wayne Belston, 12 and 16. Marcus Flitcroft, 13 and 13. Sammy Hamiobi, Naki Wells, Josie Altidore. Looks like one of the worst scouts we've ever seen. Keep that going on. There's no one really jumping out just yet. But yeah, looking forward to seeing what the new that Loft House Arena looks like. Given the fact we've got a smaller stadium, we're gonna have to come back to this and see what we can do, because these figures are not really working for us, are they? promotional fee on there, see if that works. How do I made a job for Boabo? Don't need him. Yeah, so we'll wait for the Azeri defender to become available. Dive straight in for him, because that could be a lot of fun, right? Getting a proper good Azeri centre back in. I think we need him. I think we need him. The fact that he's a Carriero and a centre back, like that speaks to me on so many levels. Reading beat Sheffield United. Stoke beat Wolves. Sorry, yeah, Wolves beat Stoke. Sorry. Okay, Jensen's not happening just yet, but we can maybe come back in through. Let's try and move towards the end of the season, shall we? Kenny Hall, along from Villa. Okay, he's on the short list. One size Kenny Hall, good first touch, decent acceleration. I mean, yeah, I think finishing 17th, I think that's definitely glossed over a few things at the football club. So Bulkley, he still looks decent. This guy, he still looks decent. Good acceleration, good tackling. His marking's not brilliant, but long throws seem fine. Determined. He's 22. Is he going to improve? I'm not saying they're League One player, but a backup player maybe? Maybe? I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm not sure. Mark O'Brien, what's he saying? On loan from Southampton. Yeah, he's done well. He's a good player. Bolton avoid tax hit, good. Sponsorship deals down. Corporate hospitality up. Kit sponsor up. Johnny Kenny shirts up. Let's just keep clicking through, see if we can get somewhere to let us know what's going to happen. Is there an international tournament on now as well, is there? European Championships, okay. So that to look forward to. And then it's another season in the Championship, which, to be fair, I'm more than happy about. I'm more than happy about that. We will very quickly though just have a little nosy, just see what's around, right? What's Wintle wanting? What's Wintle wanting? 1 year contract extension available. I think we extend it because he did play well towards the back end of the season, and we can't just let everyone go at once. What jobs are there? Posh, Plymouth, Cardiff, Wimbledon, potentially Watford. Interesting, right? Any better scouts? Marcus Flitcroft? No. Tom Dressen. Peter Younghusband. I think we just go for this guy. I think we go for Jesus Seba. Get him in. Yeah, Michael Mifsud, not really the man you want as a scout, to be honest. He doesn't really seem to be looking like he's got many attributes that'll work well. Wolves look like they've gone up. Wolves have been promoted, beating Reading. Antonio Vale is available on loan. So there you go. Wolves back up in the big time. Watford have come down, Forest have come down, and Fulham have come down as well. Now, obviously, as we say, we've got hardly any money to spend next season, which is not brilliant. It's not brilliant, but it's also not unexpected. If I'm being 100% honest, we probably were expecting to be scrimping and scraping, as is often the way. And yeah, at this point we're now, just say Fulham have gone back down. Shocking. I know, you know, right? The ultimate yo-yo club have been relegated. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? There should be like a rule as well, that if you get promoted and relegated too much, they should just go, look, it's not worth it. Like, you guys just clearly aren't good enough to come up, so stay down for another year and make sure you don't get relegated again, because otherwise you're just taking the piss. Disband Fulham FC, yeah. Just get rid of them. Get rid. Parachute Payments FC. That's exactly what they are. That's exactly what they are. Like they've never, like, their budget is, they're literally every year banking on being relegated. That's the whole thing. And going, all right, so what's the plan this year? Well, we're gonna get relegated and live off the parachute payments. Like, just, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Look, Sunderland aren't a yo-yo club. They're not quite Middlesbrough, you know. But they're there or thereabouts. I think we're all in and around, really, aren't we? Derbyshire. Nah, we're not fussed about Derbyshire. Fulham used the parachutes payments to pay Punk. Yeah. Absolutely. And then they've also taken a load of money out of the Jags as well. So that'll do, yeah. Just let some of those Jags players go. And that can go towards paying some contracts for a little bit as well. Up the Borough, yeah. Up the Borough indeed. You must be relatively happy, apart from obviously over the weekend, which didn't go particularly well, but Borough up there or thereabouts again. So Brora Rangers are interested in kiddo Taylor Hart, who's had quite a fall from grace since leaving Arsenal. Arsenal, Bristol Rovers, Barrow, Dunfermline. Yeah, now possibly Brora Rangers. So he'll be happy with that one. The interesting thing here, Unai Emery, the Norwich manager. Connor Ripley's decided to retire. That's fine. League One, Peterborough. Just feels too perfect, doesn't it? They've got Will Fish as well, ironically, given the fact I think we signed him last year as well. Harvey White, is it the lad from Spurs, is it? Yeah. We did go Will Fish, and we did, yeah. I thought so. Kwame Poku. Cameron Pring. Deli Bashiru. Yeah, I think we got him as well. 17 promotions and relegations since you've been alive. Roughly the same as you. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's fun though, right? Absolutely fun. Much better than just like being boring. And Morgan Gibbs White is at Peterborough. I mean, that didn't work out at all, did it? How do we get him? We probably can't, can we? Yeah, he's probably not going to be interested in moving. Joe Winstanley, not interested in moving. There we go. Some interesting moves. The posh job is still available. I don't think we're not going to go for it. We're not going to go for it. I'm going to stand firm. Stand firm, say we're not doing it. Yeah, there's nothing there that's jumping out. You know what I mean? Nothing there that's jumping out. We've got a job to do at Bolton. That's what we've got to do. Johnny Kenny has got his first international cap. There you go. This is the thing. See, this is what we're here for now. Everything goes like just we're living through Johnny Kenny. Sligo Rovers, Celtic, Norwich, Livingston, Dundee United, Bolton. This is our man. This is our man. Yes, this guy does have a release clause, doesn't he? It's something like 14 grand or something, I think. Is it 14 grand? I think it's something daft in it. See if we can get him in, because slightly interested in negotiating terms. Yes. What's he currently on? 900 quid. So he wants 5 grand. Of course he does. They want him loaned back as well, though. I'd rather he doesn't get loaned back. Could he play in the Championship at 19? He probably could, couldn't he? Yeah. Well, when's the season? Is the season still playing? No, it's done. No. He comes over here. We want him in. Brighton, Tottenham, West Ham, Rangers. Oh, right, we've lost him. We've lost him again. See, all we're doing is we're identifying these players, and then other clubs are sort of like sniffing straight up and going like, oh, cool. I think someone's unearthed a bit of a gem here. And then we're gone. Alright, Big Azeri's coming in. Ashby Hammond, not good enough apparently. Anthony Patterson, not good enough apparently. Daniel Hollub, 16 for kicking though. Could he be good enough? Even as a backup, could he be good enough? £45 grand compensation, right? So we have to wait for him. Andrew Brazier, along from Burnley, right? Okay, yeah. Striker, Jordan Brown. He was on from Chelsea, wasn't he? He does definitely look good enough to be a backup, so hopefully we can get something along those lines. But we obviously have to wait for him now because it's going to cost money, and we don't have the money to. Well, we do really, but I'd probably rather not spend the money on him. You know, Christopher Cheeseman, what's the expense going to be like for him? Nothing. Nothing for the big cheese. Okay. Sigmundson. Along from Barnsley. Interesting. Let's put him on the shortlist as well. Craig Armstrong. potentially decent. Another Irish player. Gary Sinclair. Dalwan Knight. Tony Galvez. Darren Williams. Strong forward. First touch, heading, determination. All things we like. Target forward. From Peterborough. He's been at Slough. Swindon lot don't seem to respect him. We might respect him. That could be interesting. Darren Williams. McCleverley. De La Fiere. Alain De La Fiere. There's a wonderful thing to say. Formerly of Hibs. Not interested in coming on trial though. Adam Murray. Formerly of Rangers. 6'2", advanced forward. Another Irish boy. Northern Irish this time. Kieran Chisholm. Let's see if he's going to be interested in anything. I'm not convinced personally about him, but you never know. Alex Moore is probably a bit too expensive. Ronnie Edwards we can't get. He's far too much. Glenn Foster as well is probably not going to want to leave Sheffield United. Malachi Fagan Walcott. 6'3". The heading's decent enough. Jumping's decent enough. Trial. Stick on the short list. Kerry Vanterpool. Determined. Decent dribbling. Don't know too much about him. Otto's just saved his job. Sweden looking more difficult to get a job in. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Cass, that's the problem, because you've got to try and find a decent job in Sweden. So half of the battle with that is literally just trying to get a decent job. This is why I was saying earlier on, I was tempted to go to Hacken just because there's a job, and then sort of like move around if I could after that. Charlie Whittaker. 15 grand's a lot of money. Sean Jones Evans. I mean, that's the most Welsh name you could possibly get, right? I have to take a relegation fight club just to get in the door. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm thinking. So I'm like I say, I'm looking at the Hacken job thinking that's possibly me. And then seeing where we go from there. So Zamosi. Wanted by Reading, Hibs, Hull, Ipswich and us. Decent enough. We're going to go for Memedov. Boyce Clark. Is that a better goalkeeper? I think we've had him before, haven't we? I'm sure we've had him before. Is he better than Bailey Farrell? Hope so. Zach Dodd. Tommy Mitchell, Scott Walden, Anthony Quinn at Wolves, centre back. I mean, he looks the part, but I don't know whether whether they're going to want us to loan anybody or not, because obviously we didn't really use Shaw very often, which much to their disgust, I think. Rocco Vata we'll have a little look at, because again he might have a couple of attributes that look decent. 16 for dribbling, 16 for decisions, but everything else not so much convinced. Laurie Barlow out of contract. How much is it going to cost? 7 grand. He's not a leading championship player. No. Nah. Andy Whelan. Josh Feeney. (6'3". Bradford, Leighton or in Burnley. Could be a leading championship player, potentially. Sam Duff. Duffman. Planning on winning Finland and Iceland as well. Of course, yeah. You're doing the full. You're doing the full Nordic challenge, aren't you? Rather than just the Scandinavian one. So that's much more in depth. Tromp Della. Nah, he's no good. Robert Dickey, no good. Vincent O'Connor. Darren Baxter. It's just clicky at this point, isn't it? Feeney's, right? So Boyce Clark's not going to come on trial, apparently. Kieran Chisholm is. Adam Murray. Rocco Vata is. Josh Feeney is. Let's have a quick little nosy at these guys, see if they're any good. So Chisholm, apparently. Could be right. Adam Murray. Regular starter who could improve. Vata, fringe player. Feeney, fringe player. Could be leading championship defender, though. Many players are going to come and hit the ground running, though. That's the problem. No. Sammy Braybrook. This is the thing. If he's 300 grand, that could be money well spent, you know. That could give us something in the midfield. 6 grand on wages plus extras. Will they take 2? Let's just see if we can get something. Forrester made a bid there. St Johnston are now in. Gonna give him a bit more money, see if that helps. Right, please come to us rather than St Johnston, because we'd rather have you. We've got an Azeri shirt, no one at St Johnston has, so you know what I mean. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. Bristol City want Braybrook, right? Okay, so it's 250. Okay. So then we're going to spark a few bidding wars for players. Obviously, St Johnston obviously want to take a look at this guy as well. So let's see if we can just bump his wages up as well. I don't know if this is going to make any difference because obviously there's some bigger clubs also want him. Yeah, okay, that's fine. 250 plus a little bit of money afterwards. If it works, it's a great sign, and if not, then you know we tried. Sergio Montel. Let's try next. Can we extend that? Extend that loan. Not massively fussed about extending Hurst Davison and Hyam, to be honest. Dundee want Nemedov as well. Going to be really upset if we don't get the Azeri defender at this point now, because it's like we were just waiting. We were waiting for him. Okay, so positions that we desperately need, right? Goalkeeper is sort of, well, we've got a first choice. We've got a goalkeeper, but if we can get another one, we'd be over the moon. So that's not really a priority. But right back, Rooney, we've got. Could do with a backup really. Definitely do with some numbers there. Centre back, we could do with at least one. Well, at least 2 actually. Left back, we could do with a backup, maybe. Although I think Doyle's probably good enough. DM, we could probably do with 1. Central midfielders, we could probably do with 1. At least 1. At least 1 AM. Wide players. At least 1. And up front. Probably 1, but We'll say at least one. So it's going to be a lot of players coming through the door, I think. Connor Taylor, jumping reach 18, heading 14, 6'5". Oh, hello, Connor Taylor. You could be just what we're looking for. Determination's good, leadership's not too bad, marking and tackling's fine. Will Jaskalainen. There we go. There's the goalkeeper sorted. We can't go back for Will, can we? Runa Haug of Hibs potentially available. Norwich are chasing Max Dean. Evening. Yes. It's my man. It's my man a few miles away. How are you, sir? Welcome, Deloney. Absolute pleasure to have you in here. We are currently, by the way, if you've not followed a few miles away, get yourselves involved. Eura NBA Suite has said raid, as has Chair of the Goat. They've said raid as well. And Kempy as well. He's not here, by the way, but he says hello. Bless him. He is an absolutely wonderful dude. If you haven't followed him, my chat, please do drop him a follow. We recently had him on the FM playoffs, and he was so good as a debutant. Caffeine in with the 6 months as well. Very kind. Thank you so much for the support there. Yeah, he's got a voice like butter as well. If you've not heard it, definitely drop a follow on a few miles away. You've joined us, Raiders, as we've entered the summer transfer window in Bolton. In Bolton, we're in 2028, so 7th season. We're about to start season 8 now, and we just survived relegation last season, so that's a backup right back signed. We're doing a bit of rebuilding because the players we've got aren't particularly great. We're overspending. We're about to step foot into our new stadium, which ironically is smaller than our current stadium. Don't know why they decided to build a smaller stadium, but that's what they decided to do. So we're looking to buy some new players now and get ourselves sorted for the next year. We don't have a lot of money. We have £1 million, £1 million. It's not much. Who do I support in real life? Difficult question. I'm going to say Sunderland at this point, only because of the fact that I'm not saying Aston Villa, because obviously the whole Steven Gerrard thing. But Shea Adams, I'm presuming. I don't know. I was going to say Southampton, but or possibly Scotland. So Ure, Sunderland till I die. There we go. That's what we're talking about. Loving that. We're now overloaded with players who can play at centre back. I mean, I wouldn't say we're overloaded because we need centre backs because we don't really have any good ones. Liam Kitchen we're going to have to go in for because he is a good player and everyone else is going in for him as well. So let's get that up there. Mackems get battered everywhere they go. Well, not everywhere. I mean, they pulled a pretty decent draw with Watford this weekend. To be honest, I think it was a good, well fought performance. They're coming from, they came from behind twice, so that'll do. Not a Sunderland fan, nope. Especially the Riverside. Well, it's local rivalries, isn't it? I don't rate Gerrard, no, not at all. Gerrard is a fraud. Absolute fraud. Terrible manager. Douglas Luiz might be joining Arsenal for 10 million. Possibly. Bradley Nixon's going to be upset if he can't discuss a move with Ross County. Well, you know what, Bradley? It's time to get upset, mate. You're not going. Where do you think your team could be improved? Everywhere. Literally everywhere. The entire team needs replacing because what we had was not good enough. Fine, he's off. He's actually tried to force himself a move to Ross County. What a mad world we live in. What a mad world. Douglas Luiz is a good player, man. He'll fit into Arsenal side pretty nicely. He's a tidy little footballer. Knows what he's doing. He's good on the ball. Good in the tackle. Forcing a move to a country that doesn't exist. Exactly. What a crazy, crazy player. Nobody would do that. You know? Nobody would do that. YOLO Stone. Looks reasonable. Don't think it's quite the level that we need. Brandon Cooper. It's probably a bit expensive for us. Zach Dodd, potentially a Premier League level player. We'll see. He's not one for us right now, I don't think. Tommy Mitchell. Out of the English leagues in this season, Man United have just offered me a job. See, I got offered the Tottenham job. That was a difficult one to turn down, to be honest. But it's it was certainly one of those. Clofix, I ratery, he's really pissed that we've played him out of position for pretty much his entire Villa career. Yeah. Square pegs and round holes in it. That's what they've been doing. Every time we put him in the box to box, he's really good game. It was a nightmare against City. This is the problem with it. It's just trying to fit people in just for the sake of fitting people in. It's never going to happen, is it? Tom Bloxham, target forward. Wanted by Birmingham's son, and that's good enough for me. Jumping reach of 17, 6'5". Good enough for me. Thank you very much. In the words of Dodgy, if it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me. And then he can replace old whingy Robert Nixon there. We even get Tielemans as well on a free. You can't argue with that. Tielemans on a free would be great. That's a very, very good buy if you can do it. I mean, to be fair, Jesus is the sign, right? And also Zinchenko. Lovely deal, great deal. You know, gotta be happy with that. Yeah, Jesus is fantastic, man. Genuinely, just fits the way that Arsenal play as well. It really fits the way Arsenal play. You know. Okay, so I think we've got a right back in. Kane Wilson offered to Birmingham. I mean, it's interesting. Do we go for Kane as well? I mean, I don't think that he'll come to us instead of Birmingham, but and I think he's also on quite a lot of money, which we probably won't be looking to pay. Bloxham's very interested in discussing a move. That's what we like. 15 grand. I mean, yeah, we can't afford the deal. We can't afford to talk to him. Oh dear. Right. Let's walk away for now. But just remember, Tom. We have a plan for you. Morgan's got his first Welsh cap. Excellent. We've genuinely got a Welsh Enganche, and he's just made his debut, so very, very happy about that. Very happy indeed. Jordan James Thomas Pittman is apparently wanted. Excellent, 40 grand. Can we bid that? Forest Green are trying to get there. Montel's got himself a new work permit, so he's staying. There you got our Argentinian playmaker. And Mamadov's through. Yes! We've managed to sign the Azeri centre-back by paying more money than we probably had to. But we've got to be happy with that. Oh, Stan Topoulos has gone to Tottenham. Of course he has. Of course he has. 9 grand a week. No chance can we afford 9 grand a week. Ridiculous. So again, there's a couple of players that we've seen there, and we went, right, we'll get them in, bringing these guys in on trial, and then other clubs going, ooh, what's Jameson up to? Oh, we like that. We like the look of this. So we're almost doing the scouting for Joe Duffy, roaming playmaker by all accounts. Someone to maybe look at. Keenan Davis, again, they're still thinking there's a bit of experience there. What are they talking about? $4,000? Jameson's got an eye for talent. Yeah, I think I do. It's just what happens after it. So I can't do anything with the talent when I get there, but yeah, I can certainly spot a player and be like, yeah, he's a good player, but can't really manage them when they turn up. Okay, so let's move some players out that we don't need. Right, so Mackenzie Campbell, then we want to try to move him off as well, don't we? Okay, because he's not fussed about being here. Looks like I'm off to the Pepsi Max Iceland instead of Sweden. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Sorba Thomas, who's still no one's interested in him, and he's going to be released. He's going to be released in a couple of weeks. There you go. Anyone available now that we would like? Goalkeepers, maybe? Owen Bell, one from Portsmouth. He looks reasonable, only 5'10" though. He's not particularly big. Quite short for a goalkeeper. You're a little short for a goalkeeper. Stormtrooper, that's what they say. Short for a stormtrooper. Hearts and Hibs are going after Zamosi. Do we go for him? I'm not hugely convinced. But at the same time, I'm thinking it's another centre-half, although we have just signed one. So we've got Nemedov is coming in. We've obviously got James Smith as well. Ian Smith, sorry. He can play centre-half. So he can go there. We've also brought Matos, where he can play right back. And we're potentially interested or in for Pittman, Kitchen. I don't think we need to go in for another centre half, do we? Really? So Mosey, is he going to be good enough? Acceleration's fine, marking's okay, his heading's not great given how tall he is. I think we just let him go and let Hearts and Hibs battle it out. And we've just made two very interesting signings. Sammy Braybrook, there's our advanced playmaker. He's going to come in from Swansea. A man who had one of the best chance creations in the league last season. And Christopher Cheeseman is going to come in as well on a free transfer. The big cheese, 6 foot. We need to go after a centre half. We end up losing someone. Yes, that's a good point, Cass. That is a good point. Okay, so I'm going to put. Is Cheeseman a wide player? I think he possibly is, isn't he? And then, of course, we've got our playmaker as well. Braybrook's come in. I mean, this could be, yeah, if his output is anything like what he's done at Swansea, then we can really start making some stuff, creating some chances. I think that the big cheese is going to be all right. He looks good. The big cheese looks good. And yeah, I think now we need a goalkeeper and a striker, and we've already made a big improvement in our team. and then we'll start shipping out some players from that we don't need anymore. What's the bids then? What's the bids? 400 grand. Are we going 400? I'll go 200. Not going 4. But you're right. We don't really need to buy another striker unless we lose one. Just gonna give him all the big ups. Big up, Sammy Braybrook. Yeah, so yeah, DM and a goalkeeper is what we need now. Let's cancel the deal for Pittman then. Well, he probably is the player that we need, isn't he? Mungo, Welshie, Lenton, I guess it's going to be. Right, move him to. Right, he's not really part of the consideration now. Smith, Lenton. Wintle could potentially play midfield if needs be. MJ can play midfield. Doyle, Pierce. Dempsey is going to be... Oh, we gave him a 1-year deal. Did we give him a 1-year deal? No, we're going to try and sell him, weren't we? We'll try and move him out. Right, try and move Dempsey out. Probably got to stay in. Braybrook's staying. Then Bailey is staying, but if someone comes in for him, we'll move him out as well. Darcy's going to be released. Jay Glass has just been pushed up through the reserves, so he can be there. Molden's going to be going. He's been released. Vata isn't going to make the cut. Matavu, obviously as a youngster, he's looking pretty handy now, so he's going to stay. Wanted by Filed. Wanted basically on loan, to be honest. Yeah, striker and goalkeeper now. And after that, I think we are where we are. I mean, Dempsey's pretty adamant that he wants to stay, so if he's keen to fight for his place, that's interesting, but he's on quite a bit of money. We've backed down, just for now. I quite liked his attitude, actually, of I'll stay and fight. Okay. Also, the fact that there's no one's interested. João Virginia. Again, I'm sure we bought him at Posh, didn't we? Is he a good goalkeeper on the game? Decent championship signing. Let's get him on the shortlist. I mean, I like the fact that we're referred to as penniless Bolton. It's about right. Liam Kitchen's gone to Ipswich. He's gone on a free as well, so we missed out there. Much like Bolton in real life, Kane Wilson wants to join, not for £9,000 as a backup. I'm sorry, Kane. We may have potentially sold you on a bit of a ruse there. We're not going to pay £9,000 for a backup player. We need a goalkeeper. We need a centre forward. That's where we need to be looking at now. Stephen Omiyonga, 32, bit too old for us. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we've got options all over the place here, haven't there? So many potential strikers from everywhere. We go back for Bloxham maybe. Bruno Leal, we're going to get nowhere near. Vincent O'Connor, we could potentially loan in from Arsenal. Shane McGee, no, he's one of our older ones we looked at. Darren Williams from Peterborough. I think we scout him, see what he can do. If he is a big target man, big lummox, then that could work nicely for us. But yes, goalkeeper. Just a good goalkeeper. Who's a good goalkeeper? Where do these goalkeepers live? Daniel Barden could be the one, you know. Can we compare him to what we've actually already got? Bailey Peacock. To be fair, they both conceded roughly the same amount of goals. We don't know too much about Barden either, so it's not like a like-for-like comparison. Right, we need to scout and then find a bit more about him. Find a bit more about Mike Cooper. Goalkeepers are hard to find, especially with a budget. Yeah, agreed. Definitely makes it that little bit more tricky, doesn't it? And they are the difference maker as well. Like, you know, a good goalkeeper is the difference between winning a game and drawing a game, or drawing a game and losing a game, as we've seen far too many times, just issues with goalkeepers. But you know, that's one of the joys of the game, right? That's one of the joys of the game. I'm sure at some point a player will pull through. There'll be a new gen goalkeeper will rock up, some fucking Brazilian or something. We'll be able to sign a Brazilian goalkeeper, but it'll all be fine. Amari Fawson is going to go from Millwall to St John's, and that's fine. Let him go. I don't really think we need to be tracking that one. Henry Correjo, wow, it's a decent signing for Wolves. But of course it is, because he's Portuguese, clearly. Right, let's see what they're going to call with, shall we? Okay, Chisholm, they reckon. Okay, Richardson. Ethan Ross, Danny Grant, Josh Martin. Jack Moylan. Looks alright. Fully scout him actually. Let's see what they're saying there. Jason Humphrey Griffith. When we talk about big name signings, we don't mean they have to have the longest names. Masha Winchie. Again, 12 grand is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. 25-year-old as well. Brian Duncan. From a made-up club. No one's ever heard of Aberdeen. That's not a real team at all. Teo Casson. Every signing has to have a super long name. It's a new challenge. That could be a good one actually. Yeah. All players have to be signed from Hesselink. Lucas Bain. I mean, we could always just go back to Celtic and get another midfielder, couldn't we? Determination and teamwork's high. Agility's high. Stamina's high. Passing's okay. Vision's alright. Not that expensive. He's available for loan. Isaac Whitehall. Mentals are good. 26. Formerly of Blackburn. Key headers. 14. 8 chances created. This is League 2. I don't know. There's something about him. He's not our first choice, I don't think. not running out to get him. Kevin Pollock. Jumping reach, 17 for left back. Oof. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. He's only 6'1" though, but if he can get up in the air, makes himself danger for the at the back post, doesn't he? Cameron Archer. There's at Rotherham. Wanted by Birmingham. Oof. Not sure that's gonna fly well, is it? Matty Pollock. Ron Boyce. Skiberas. Patterson, no good. Webber, no good really. Ronan Darcy's potentially off to Ross County. Jordan James, Shaquille Jules. These are all the Chelsea players here. I mean, yeah, he's a good player, this Stanisopoulos. But yeah, we're not paying $9,000 on his wages to take him on loan. Mark O'Brien though, how much is he going to cost on loan? No, they're not going to let him go. Not going to let him go. We need Cherry from United. He's a good player as well. Simon Thompson, Paul Sherry, Luis Siri. Should we go for an unknown Uruguayan goalkeeper from Penarol? I mean, I've never heard of him, so because obviously he's not real, so of course I haven't. Have you not heard of a new gen goalkeeper, Tony? No. Must admit, he's completely new to me. Here's another big name signing as well. Agbon Tahoma. Beginning of pre-season isn't too far away. Just slowly starting to nudge towards it. With, I think, a better squad than we ended the season with. So Zamosi's going to go to Hibs. That's fine. We'll see just how well he turns out and whether we've made the right decision or the wrong decision to not go for him. They want him desperately, don't they? I'd rather have a little bit more cash, but we'll have to see what we can eke out of them. Thomas Pittman has gone to Forest Green, and I think it's a good signing. It's a good signing. Nixon's going to have to go. I can't believe Nixon has fought to go to Ross County. Like, no disrespect to Ross County, obviously. No disrespect to Ross County, but I just feel as though we might be a slightly better option. Maybe. Or at least we might have a little bit of a better chance of doing something, but maybe I'm wrong. You know? We're about to play Stoke, for God's sake. They're not going to play Stoke, are we? Who's he going to play for, though? Yeah, he's going to play for us. He's first choice for us. Hull want Peacock Farrell. Now, this is interesting because we want to sell, but we don't have a backup just yet. We don't have a replacement. Doesn't have the fire for the Premier League. Maybe he doesn't. Yeah, maybe he's one of those. Just doesn't quite know what he fancies yet. Bolton versus Rochdale in the Carabao Cup. That's where we're at. That's what we're up to. Under 23 league. Championship fixtures are out, everybody. Here's what we've got. So, friendlies against Reed, Rapid Vienna, Stura, Malaga, AZ Alkmaar. Away at Stoke. Oh, home to Rochdale in the Carabao Cup, home to Bristol City, away to Sunderland, home to Forest, home to Fulham, away to Hull. I mean, it's a baptism of fire, isn't it? That is a baptism of fire. Christmas period, Middlesbrough at home, Sheffield United away, and then end of the season at home to Sheffield Wednesday. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. Exactly, Cass. We'll have a bit of confidence. We'll be all right. We'll be fine. Yeah, we've got a good squad. We've got some good players in here now. All we need to do now, we need to get a goalkeeper now, because obviously Peacock Farrell's going to go. We need to get a centre forward in now, because obviously Nixon wants to go as well now. So that's fine. Completely fine. Right. Dunfermline offered a deal for Owen Bell. Now let's let him go. Tyree Wilson. We don't need Tyree Wilson anymore. Hull have made an offer for Peacock Farrell. I mean, we could reject it. We could just reject it and just leave it as it is. We don't have to accept it, do we? That's the thing. Of course, Freddie Just Ham. The sandwich. We haven't even tried to bring him in yet. Because again, he could be half decent. Maybe. Or maybe I've just looked at Flair 17 and Dribbling 15. And the fact that he's just called Just Ham. Teamwork 15. 13 grand to come on loan. Oof. Maybe not. Maybe not. Get Cameron Archer from Villa and score all the goals you'll ever need. Well, he is available. He is available. You know? Potentially. Here he is at Rotherham. £500,000. He's 26 now. 15 for finishing, 15 for acceleration. He didn't score a single goal last season. He scored 12 the season before, though, in League One. So he wouldn't be the worst striker, but also maybe not the best. Mastrovic. Who's bid for him? Forest Green. Rangers are interested. Scott Allardyce. Johan Boltz. Hayden Coulson. Joe Williams. Jordan Marshall. Right. I think we've certainly got. He's off to Birmingham. Interesting. So Cameron Archer. Maybe good enough. Possibly regular starter. I think we've got a few things we need to think about. Have a little look at, you know. Some plans. Keeper, striker. That's what we need next season. That's what we desperately need. So we'll have a look at that and see if we can get something sorted out. In the meantime, let's go and tell you what, Dan Vincent has got a cup final on the go, so let's go and see him. We've been to see him before, but we like him. He's a lovely man, so go and give him some love. As we say, first in the league, Carabao Cup final. Let's go and do it. We'll be back probably Tuesday, I think, to be honest, with the next episode. So hope you're all well. Enjoy the start of your week. Take care. See you all. Bye now.
Go on, Bruno. Oh. Hey! Tony! Thank you for the raid. Welcome, everyone. You've joined us at a crucial game